These are the suddenly snow-dusted Franklin Mountains which frame the city of El Paso, Texas, and the Sun Bowl, which is being played for the 77th time. Folks from Notre Dame must have thought they never left South Bend last night, as close to 1 inch of snow unexpectedly fell in this far West Texas town. Leaving this scene this morning, a snow-filled Sun Bowl field, maintenance crews got at it quickly, and in a short order they had the field prepared for this afternoon's playing of the 77th Sun Bowl. It's a rivalry that's being renewed between Notre Dame and the University of Miami. Might even call it a heated rivalry. Notre Dame football and the iconic images that are the fabric of their glorious past and the foundation of 11 national championships. The Hurricanes of Miami, winners of 5 national titles in the last 3 decades, a team whose swagger and attitude was the foundation of their success. A generation ago, their respective personalities set the stage for a rivalry that became known simply as Catholics versus convicts. "20 years have passed since their last encounter, and now these two proud programs are on the rise once again. They renew their rivalry in the perfect setting for a good old-fashioned showdown. The West Texas town of El Paso. This is the 77th Sun Bowl. We had that unexpected dusting of snow overnight, but conditions are dry right now. We may even have clear skies before this meeting between these two teams is complete this afternoon. We welcome you to the Hyundai Sun Bowl from the Sun Bowl in El Paso. A renewal of the rivalry between the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame, 7-5 for the year, and the Hurricanes of Miami, and first on the field, their first appearance in El Paso, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Head coach, Brian Kelly. Cue the Hurricanes. Well, they're going to take their leisurely time getting out here. Dressed in orange and white with the green trim. They've lost their last 2 bowl games. The last losing streak you saw some years ago. University of Miami also making its first appearance in the bowl game. Their head coach, Randy Shannon, fired toward the end of the season. So they have an interim coach, Jeff Stoutland, and the new coach, Al Golden, is here. Good afternoon, everybody. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, Tracy Wolfson. We welcome you to El Paso. There's something inherently magnetic when you hear the names Notre Dame football, Miami football. That's one reason this game sold out within 21 hours of the announced matchup for this year's Sun Bowl game. Both teams playing here for the first time. They had that bitterly contentious rivalry through most of the 80s. The game discontinued. This their first meeting since 1990. Make no mistake, Gary, this one has relevance for both teams.
What do we got, 35 bowl games or something like that, Vern? You know, sometimes we get a little cynical and blasé about this stuff, but to me, I love watching competition and games that matter. And when Notre Dame plays Miami, it matters. And you're going to see 2 good young teams, and I predict within 2 years, both of these teams will be in a BCS football game. They are young, and they're going to get nothing but better.
Let's talk first of all about the Irish, who come in having won their last 3 games, and they did so under the leadership of an 18-year-old true freshman, Tommy Rees.
Sometimes stats don't matter. Tommy Rees, the stat that matter, 3-0 as a starter. He's probably the most valuable player on this team because without him, they would not have won. They had an injury at quarterback, but he can rely on a great player, Michael Floyd. And when you're young, and in college football, when you have one of those guys where you can just toss it out there and he can make plays, he's kind of like a safety net, and Michael Floyd will do that for Tommy Rees today, and we'll see a lot of both of them.
Notre Dame has won its last 3. Miami has lost its last 2. They do have an outstanding defensive 11. A little bit more of a problem on offense with the quarterback, Ja'Cory Harris.
I think it's that way in college football now. If you're not getting good play from your quarterback, and Ja'Cory Harris has been up and down, he's been injured. When he's good, he's really good. He's a great leader. Players love him. He's tough. He stands in there and delivers the ball to all his weapons. But then he has some of those throws that you just wonder, come on, Ja'Cory, you're better than that. Coaching staff has said he's been great all week. He's healthy. He's got help, too. This guy, Leonard Hankerson, is one of the best in college football. We will see a lot of him. He's a tough mismatch for this Notre Dame football team.
Well, Notre Dame and Miami, last time they met was 1990, the 77th Sun Bowl. We'll return with the kickoff right after these messages. Notre Dame Fighting Irish 7-5, Miami also 7-5. And we've talked a little bit about the snow. You can see the residual effects up in the Franklin Mountains. It's 36 degrees as we kick off, and a breeze out of the northwest, 15 to 25. It was supposed to clear up, but it doesn't look like it's going to.
It's pretty nice out there.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. First ever meeting in a bowl game, and they will resume their regular season series in 2012.
Notre Dame fans know this, but for everyone else, Notre Dame has taken the ball or gotten the ball first in every game but the USC game. They lost the toss here. Miami deferred, so this is for every game but USC, they've started the game off on offense.
There's Collinsworth. That's Chris Collinsworth's son, Austin. And one of the 2 deep men now to return the ball from Notre Dame.
Some sons of some good football players, both sides.
And it is Collinsworth up the middle. Breaks a tackle out across the 40. And I think the dad would approve of the first effort of this game.
Faster than the dad, I'll tell you that.
Matt Bosher, who kicked off, made the tackle of a 35-yard return.
Takes it right up the gut. Spins away. Keeps that ball clutched pretty close, doesn't he?
Well, Chris Collinsworth worked his name into this broadcast very early. And it's first down and 10 after that wonderful return. The ball marked for play at the 46-yard line. First down 10. Tommy Rees will open at quarterback. Robert Hughes is the opening halfback. He gets the call. And nothing going on first down. And as they came on the field a few moments ago, Tracy Wolfson with Brian Kelly.
Coach, to get this bowl win today and versus an old rival like Miami, what would this do in terms of what you hope to achieve in 2011?
Well, it's always a glimpse at 2011, but, we've been doing that, obviously, since November. We've been looking at 2011 as well. So, yeah, it's a game we want to win. It's not any singular event that, obviously gets us to 2011.
Freshman Tommy Rees, another big stage for him. What does he need to do to be successful today?
Well, I think he's just got to get back into the flow of things. We've been out of it for a while, and not turn the ball over. Obviously, if we do a good job protecting him and he cares for the football, we should be in good shape.
Good luck today. Thanks a lot.
All right, Trace, thank you. Here's Tommy Rees, and here's Matt Austin.
Still second down.
Matt, the referee from the Southeastern Conference crew that's working this game today, and the penalty was against Miami, offside. 5-yard penalty, moves the ball out to the 49-yard line. Second down, 7. 5 receivers, empty backfield.
Yeah, and 5 across the board is the look. The defense, no safety in the middle.
Right tackle moved. Flags down. There are 3 of them.
Boy, on all 3 of the snaps so far, on the first snap, Miami's defensive lineman, I think it was Forston, jumped the snap and blew up the play. Then it was an offsides and another one here again.
Prior to the snap, false start, 75 offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And that is Taylor Dever, the right tackle.
3 in a row, and Dever and Martin, the 2 tackles for Notre Dame, know they have speed rushers to the outside. They know that the Miami defensive line pins their ears back. They play the run on the way to the quarterback. That's the style.
Second down, 12. The option play, the handoff. That goes to Robert Hughes, number 33. And let's introduce you to the Notre Dame offense presented by the Home Depot. Martin, Stewart, Cade, Robinson, and Dever, the offensive line. T.J. Jones, true freshman, gets a start. Riddick back in the lineup. He missed 4 games, did get back against USC. Only 1 catch. And Brian Kelly completing his first season as the head coach at Notre Dame. More motion in the line. But he got back. 3rd and 10, Reese looks deep across the middle. Drills it, man open. Catch made at the 38-yard line by Tyler Eifert, number 80, the tight end.
Yeah, we got another flag down on the play, and I'm not sure which one this was. But you see on the play, and I think Eifert's a tough matchup, actually, for any defense in college football. He's one of those hybrid offensive ends, tight ends, that are new to football and even in the NFL.
Here's Matt Austin.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 6 in the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Still 3rd down.
Yeah, that means the wide receiver to that side, the covered Riddick, Theo Riddick, right here. I think that's Riddick right there. He must have been covered. He fell. Looks to me like he was back far enough. I think that's kind of a hairline call, to tell you the truth.
And it negates a first down inside the 40-yard line. 3rd and 15. Already 3 penalties enforced in the game. Miami shows a blitz look. Notre Dame calls timeout. I'm just saying, the snow seems to have affected the rhythm of this game. Not the Golden Knight parachute jumpers, though. LG, as a proud NCAA corporate partner, presents great moments at the Sun Bowl.
New Year's in El Paso, it's the Sun Bowl! Notre Dame, Miami back again! New Year's Eve in El Paso!
Well, they do know how to party in this town, that's for sure. 1988, Notre Dame ended Miami's 36-game regular season win streak. Today, the first unranked meeting between these 2 teams since 1979.
Yeah, Miami had it up there. They were in top 15 team, and it looked like they had turned the corner. I thought when they beat North Carolina, they were going to just roll forward, but injuries kind of caught them, especially at quarterback.
Yeah, Ja'Cory Harris, it was a question mark. We'll talk about that when Miami gets the ball. But
Miami really challenging the line of scrimmage with their DBs.
Dane Crist, injured quarterback from Notre Dame. He is here, but not in uniform. Here's Reese. Nice pass. That's a beauty, and that's Michael Floyd. Downed inside the 25.
It's almost inexcusable if you're Miami. 3rd and 15, and you allow the other team's go-to receiver, the guy you know they're going to throw to, Michael Floyd, to catch a 3-yard pass. They get rid of it, and then terrible angles. Nice block downfield by Theo Riddick, by the way, number 6, if he actually sprung Floyd for the first down. But that's the formula for Notre Dame.
Up the middle it goes. This is Sierra Wood, number 20, his first carry of the game. That's a gain of 6. Miami's defense presented at Home Depot. Bailey, Regis, Forston, and Olivier Vernon gets the start. Buchanan, McCarthy, and Sean Spence at the linebackers. And in the secondary, Ryan Hill, JoJo Nicholas, Vaughn Telemack, and Byron Harris. I saw Byron Harris badly beaten on that catch by Floyd. Second down, 4. Play action, Reese. There's a tussle with Floyd, and a flag is thrown. Looked like Ryan Hill, number 13.
And Ryan Hill really had no choice but to grab Floyd on that one. Off the bootleg action, it was a throwback. You get everything going one direction, and then Floyd is going to come back to the other way, and Ryan Hill had no choice but to grab Floyd on the play. Now, there may be a discussion whether it was a catchable ball, but that was clearly, you got to give the benefit to the offense on that play.
Pass interference. Defense number 13. It's 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Let's take a look at the Notre Dame red zone stats presented by Verizon. 25 of 41, 61% touchdown average percentage, and they're right on average nationally. There's Ryan Hill.
Kind of funny, I go out to practice, and the first thing the Notre Dame people are asking me is, how does Floyd look compared to those SEC, Julio Jones and A.J. Green and those guys? And I go, kind of just like them.
Yeah. He certainly got the size, doesn't he?
Yes, he's not quite as tall as those two guys, but boy, is he built.
Prolific receiver, goes wide right. Up. First and goal. It's Hughes up the middle. Hughes, one of the real strong forces in the come-from-behind win at Southern Cal last regular season game. They got the ball trailing by 3 and drove it 60-some yards. Hughes, who had no carries the first 4 games of the year, only 13 through 8. But what was it Brian Kelly told us yesterday? He suddenly realized he's 245 pounds instead of 172. Now Floyd comes out to the left. Notre Dame touchdown. That's 11 for the year for Michael Floyd.
Well, you can't do it much better than this. An opening drive, you run the ball a little bit, you have a couple penalties, make a 3rd and 15, and then you go right back to the guy that you want to go back to. And you know, Eifert kind of ran right over that Miami defender on his route, and boy, that actually opened up the play a little bit in the middle of it, didn't it?
Here's David Ruffer, the walk-on senior, still not on scholarship. He's had a perfect year from the field, but he has missed 3 extra points. But Michael Floyd and Tommy Reese collaborate. How about the 3rd down play first?
Well, this one was 3rd and 15. You throw a little slant, a poor angle by Brandon Harris, number 1, and all of a sudden after a run, you set it up and you go right back to your big player again for the first touchdown of the game.
CBS Sports presentation of the Hyundai Sun Bowl is sponsored by TIAA Craft, Red Lobster, Aflac, and by Hyundai Holidays. Well, they call this... I've got visions of you doing this.
I could do that.
Huh? Can you really? Huh?
No.
Little Irish
I
jig.
can't.
I'd last about 10 seconds. Notre Dame here in numbers and celebrating right now as they go 54 yards in 6 plays and take a 7-0 lead. Lamar Miller is the deep man now, 1 of 2, along with Greg Cooper. And this will be Cooper. Moves up, grabs it at the 3. Chased out of bounds on the far side by Robert Blanton, number 12, the cornerback, backup cornerback. And so Miami gets the ball on offense for the first time in this ball game.
Well, and I think the game has been set now by Notre Dame. They clearly are ready to play. They know they can move the ball, and now Ja'Cory Harris has to say, all right, we have to show them that we're ready to play too.
See the numbers for the year. Suffered a quite serious concussion against Virginia. Missed 4 games. And there was a question whether he would start or Stephen Morris in this ball game, and then Morris twisted an ankle first day of practice here. LaRon Bird, number 47, with the catch. Now, Gary, you've had this happen to you when you played. These concussions, this looks just awful.
Well, this was a big hit, and a clean hit, by the way. That's the way you got to do it. But he drove his head right into the ground, and Jacory had only missed one play, and he'd been beat up a lot in his career. He'd only missed one play in his career, one play against Pitt, until that hit right there when he missed, what, close to 3 games? Is that what it was?
Yes. Total of 4.
Oh, got another penalty on start right here.
Wow. That's Richard Gordon, the tight end, number 84.
Dead ball, false start. 74 offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
They're saying Orlando Franklin, number 74. Now there he is.
See if Franklin moves first. They both do, basically.
So Franklin gets tagged, and it's second down. Left side, Miller. No, Mike James, I beg your pardon. It's Michael James, who lost his mother in a traffic accident just a little over a week ago.
And that's a nice thing by Jeff Stoutland to stay with him and start him in this football game, don't you think? I mean, he just goes through that, and he gives him the ball early in the game.
Yeah, and a sad irony, the funeral is being held even as this game is underway. And so Michael James, with heavy heart, playing in this ball game, just joined the team on Thursday.
They're going to have to punt here. It's too big of a risk. So the penalty got him. It did look like Miami was able to move the ball, but Notre Dame was able to take advantage of a third down penalty and get the first down on bad defense from Miami, but not quite the same.
There's John Goodman back to return the punt. Matt Bosher, who does all of the kicking for Miami. And it's a fair catch taken at the 25-yard line. A 43-yard punt for Bosher. Nothing on the return. Fighting Irish lead it by 7, and they've got the football back in their hands. Doubleheader of the NFL on CBS tomorrow. League game early. Pittsburgh at Cleveland. You can see we have a heavy slate. League game late will be Tennessee at the Colts. Jacksonville at Houston, San Diego at Denver, and it all begins with the NFL today. JB and the quartet, 12 noon Eastern time. Good to have the blimp with us today. And aerial coverage of today's game brought to you by MetLife. 50,000 plus on hand at the 77th Sun Bowl. And Tommy Reese leads his team out. The touchdown toss from Reese to Floyd is the only touchdown we've had so far. 2 for 2. See if we can get this series without penalty flags. Reese under center. Hands it off to Robert Hughes, number 33. Close to a... Well, it's always good to have Tim Brandu working on a holiday. He's with us in New York.
Back at you, Vern. Jacquez Jenkins had just had an interception and returned it 50 yards for South Florida. And then B.J. Daniels on the option takes it in. Could be a long off season for Dabo Swinney. 31-13. Skip Holtz's team is up. Back to you.
All right, Tim, thank you. Second down and 7. Reese has gone out wide to the left as a receiver, so we're in a wildcat of sorts. And this is Theo Riddick, former running back in high school. And Riddick, the slot receiver. We expect to see him featured a lot today.
And Brian Kelly has said, he's finally healthy, and Miami's defense better be ready for this guy, because the first thing Brian said to us is he's an elite football player. He will be special before he leaves Notre Dame.
Theo Riddick missed 4 games with a twisted ankle. He did get back against Southern Cal, as we mentioned earlier, but made only 1 catch in that game. They'll keep him in the backfield, and he surges across the 40. And out to the 43. Tackle made by Ray Armstrong. Opening drive.
Yeah, Collinsworth, remember the opening kickoff. And if you're a Notre Dame fan, or even say that a Miami fan, you should note that Notre Dame is not good in kickoff returns. And they scored one there, and then the drive started. And Tommy Rees, and you know, one of the things you have to be careful of is when you're judging quarterbacks is to not stereotype them. They're all unique and different, and you can be effective in any style. You know, Tommy Rees might not have the Ben Roethlisberger style or something like that with that big gun, but he moves the chains, and he makes good plays for this offense. And sometimes you get a guy like that, Vern, in the lineup, you never get him out.
Right.
You
Well, how about his first 3 starts?
geez.
Now just take a look at this. He started his first game at Notre Dame against Utah. Huge win for Notre Dame. Then Yankee Stadium, and then at Los Angeles in the Coliseum.
He's not going to faint for anything he sees now. He knows about Miami. He's a kind of a gym rat, football gym rat. He knows about the Miami reputation, but I don't think he's going to be nervous about that.
Second down. Rush from the corner. They toss it right side. It's Hughes. Little weaving run around the right. And Robert Hughes with a nifty run. Apparently, I'm so used to working on
Saturday, correct.
that I said all of the games are tomorrow in the NFL.
Seems like
So,
it.
I misspoke.
Their game's tomorrow,
Well,
but the NFL games are the day after.
that's right. And the NFL doubleheader on CBS will be Sunday. First down. Another fine run. Flag down in the backfield. That was Sierra Wood, number 20.
Offense. Repeat first down.
Got Chris Stewart, number 59.
Yeah, left guard on this one. Let's see what happens. Right there he is. Tries to turn out. I think it forced in that time, and he has to grab him to do it.
Chris Stewart, whose story I think has been well publicized. He's a graduate of Notre Dame, and I think the only player in Division I, how many ever there are, who was an active student in law school during the fall semester.
He could argue his case here. Let's see, until they snapped his ball. All right, he lost his case.
And Riddick in the backfield again. He'll come left after the fake to Wood and gets near the 50-yard line. That's a yard short. Tackle made by Olivier Vernon, number 35.
Well, you know, talking about this Miami defense, I mean, when they're good, they stop the run. You know, Ohio State ran the ball, 49 times for 180? That's good defense. Florida State, Georgia Tech, they run the ball on everyone, and Virginia Tech were effective. 298, 308, and 251. That's the key. Those guys up front, they play one gap, they come upfield, and they got to stop that run as they rush.
Reese to Riddick inside, and
it looked bad.
It did look bad,
yeah.
yes.
There's a flag. I think they got a flag from the back judge right at the end of it, I think.
Well, let's see.
Floyd is sure. Yes, he did. Yes.
Forston.
Yes.
Number 99. Yep.
Marcus Forston comes across. You know, and if you're Forston now, understand you got a guy that's faster than you.
Personal foul. Face mask.
Whoa.
99 defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Yeah, and you know, I always argue, Vern, that should be a 5-yarder and a 15-yarder. I like the rule previously much better than the rule now, but that was a 15-yarder.
It was indeed. They have been hampered by penalties this year, an average of 8 per game. That's tied for 5th most in Division I, and it allows Notre Dame to escape a second down at 18.
It's 2 conversions.
Reese, man open. Floyd has to wait for it. Makes the grab. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
He's a mismatch. You see it one-on-one right there. Gets the ball deep, misjudged. That's what happens. Brandon Harris. It was not a well-thrown ball.
No.
And the offense had the advantage.
David Ruffer for the second extra point try. In the early going, it's down and up and through. 28 career touchdowns.
And Brandon Harris is Miami's best one-on-one cover guy.
Broke the record previously held by baseball pitcher Jeff Samardzija. Michael Floyd, Tommy Reese. Michael Floyd's second touchdown catch. It's 14-0. You can build your own football dynasty and compete year-round with CBSSports.com franchise football on Facebook. Find out more at CBSSports.com/franchise. Ruffer will kick off that last drive, 74 yards. Don't forget the significant face mask penalty of 15 yards and an automatic first down on second down and 18.
Yeah, 2 inexcusable first downs for the Miami defense on third and real long. Another real long yardage play again.
Here's the kick. This is Lamar Miller, number 6, at the goal line. Open field tackle. Wow.
Vern, I gotta say, Miami better get it together or they're gonna get their fannies whipped on national television. It's not that cold out here. Start playing football, Hurricanes, because this Notre Dame team came to play.
Bennett Jackson, special teamer, down to make the stop. No, it's not that cold. It's in the upper 30s, but there's no wind.
Right.
Penalty yards 40, total yards 14. Matter of fact, Joe Zagacki, who is the play-by-play man for Miami and an old friend, said this will be the coldest game they played in since the last game in 2003 at Pittsburgh. It was in the 20s. They won that. Good coverage downfield. This has a chance to be picked off. And it is Robert Blanton, number 12. Ill-advised heave.
Well, and that's where your receivers, though, have to help you. I'm sorry, you're throwing that ball, and you're depending on your... Look, Michael Floyd went up and got it, didn't he? Now, come on. Your receiver, if you don't get it, I mean, you've got your best receiver out there, Hankerson. Go up, at least knock it down and help your quarterback. He stopped on your play. That's one of those plays where if you don't get it, you got to make sure the other guy doesn't get it. I don't blame you, Jacory. That's inexcusable from your best receiver. Miami, I know I'm being a little rough on you, but come on.
Turnovers, drops, penalties, it's all hampered Miami this year. And Jacory Harris to Hankerson doesn't work this time as Robert Blanton picks up his second interception of the season. Here's Eifert coming in motion. The handoff, Sierra Wood, number 20. And gets a modest gain of a couple. Tackle made by Ray Armstrong. There's Blanton.
Yep. Still plenty of time, obviously. I mean, come on, it's the start of the football game. The leaders on this Miami team, and that's been the question. When you talk to the Miami alumni, and you see their quotes, they all saying, who's the Ed Reeds? Who's the Highsmiths? Who's, the Ken Dorseys? They got in people's faces and say, we're going to play football. We're not backing down. Where's the leader on the Miami team that refuses to look like this in a football game?
Reese looking for Floyd, finds him at the 50. And a first down. Michael Floyd out of St. Paul, Minnesota.
All right, the first catch, this is a gimme. Miami's going to give you this one. 5-yard slant on 3rd and 15, but you got to make the tackle. The second one, maybe a little bit of a pick, but that's what they allow you to do. The last one, underthrown ball, and Floyd does what Hankerson didn't do, adjusted the ball and make the play.
That ball just short of the first down. It's 3rd and inches. And Hughes appears to have it. He does. Spot the ball at the 46-yard line.
I want to go back to Tommy Reese a little bit here and talk about what I said about not stereotyping your quarterbacks. And everybody said if you don't have the cannon gun, arm, and you're not 6'4" and you don't run 4'5", we don't want you. But I just talk about, Phillip Rivers. Everybody said, he's not going to make it. He shot puts the ball. Bernie Kosar, he throws it sidearm. Drew Brees, the whole NFL told him he was too short. Some guys get it, okay? I don't know. I'm not sure, but it looks to me like Tommy gets it.
Well, he's an 18-year-old freshman, and he's going after his fourth win in a row. That catch made by Eifert. Well, we talked about Michael Floyd, modest circumstances growing up financially, economically, but he did manage to get into Cretan-Durham Hall High School, a private high school. And he shares that alumni base with, look at this, Chantrell Henderson, Michael Floyd, Joe Mauer of the Twins, Chris Weinke, Florida State, and Steve Walsh, the Miami quarterback.
What I was thinking when I saw that?
There's the pass out of
I
bounds.
think Purdue should hire that recruiting coordinator for that school right there.
Yeah.
He could help us, I think. What did Michael Floyd tell us, though, about Joe Mauer? I said, have you ever played any basketball with him or anything like that? Mike was bragging on his basketball skills. But he said, do you know this? He said, Joe Mauer only struck out one time in his high school career as a sophomore.
That's pretty impressive.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's... Reese now has thrown his first incomplete. And it's third down and 8.
Looks like Miami's going to drop in some type of a zone this time. It might be a good idea.
Yeah. Reese goes right side.
Yep, and it worked.
Yeah. Intended for T.J. Jones, incomplete. And that's going to bring on the Miami punting unit. Ben Turk, number 35, will author his first punt of the day. Turk, sophomore out of Davie, Florida, and Travis Benjamin is back for the Hurricanes at the 10-yard line. All in all, very effective inside of the 20. Miami gets the ball back, trailing by 14. The biggest event of the year begins with a single step. That is not Paula Abdul in the middle. Join Paula Abdul for the premiere of Live to Dance, Tuesday, only on CBS. $14-0. 2:06 to go.
Well, there must be a clock issue here because the officials are coming to the sideline.
Yeah, there's Matt Austin. Clock is out.
Well, Miami, I think, should live with their running game. That's what, they hang their hat on. And let's see if they can get the running game going, and then off of that, the play action passes should be there.
Well, there's the interim head coach, Jeff Stoutland, 27-year coach, offensive line coach, and the interim coach after Randy Shannon's dismissal. And Stoutland will be retained by Al Golden as the offensive line coach. Likeable young man. I say young, he's 48. Young in my book.
I like what he said, though. He told the team and guaranteed the team, as the coaching staff would be all in for them. We aren't going to be burning the phone lines looking for other jobs right now. We are going to give you, we're going to coach you hard, and we're going to give you this bowl game because you guys deserve it.
2 children for Jeff and Allison. And Jeff Stoutland underwent triple bypass surgery at the age of 48 back in May.
Mark Whipple is the offensive coordinator, and you don't see his name on there as you look at, so far, Al Golden's staff. Mark calls the plays. Pretty successful career calling the plays here, too,
yes,
for Miami, at least in statistically numbers.
And off to Barry, goes left at left tackle.
Yeah, I think that's what they have to do. They have to pound the ball into this Notre Dame football team, and I think kind of establish to Notre Dame and to the Miami team that we're here for a physical football game. I don't think Miami can finesse their way to this football win.
Manti Te'o, number 5, made the tackle. Now they bid for a first down plus. And Miami gets the first down. Let's go down to Tracy Wilson.
Well, guys, Jeff Stoutland's well known here in El Paso. There's a street named after him. In the early 90s, Stoutland was recruiting a player from the Dallas area whose father built a development here, and he named the streets there after those coaches who crossed their path. And guys, Stoutland had no idea about the street. He found out about the same time he found out they were coming to the Sun Bowl, guys.
That's pretty good.
You see Miami uses a lot of overshifted offensive linemen playing tight end in their heavy package to run the ball.
Lamar Miller gets the handoff and works his way out across the 35 into the hands of Ethan Johnson, number 90, defensive end for the Irish.
Patrick Hill and Darius Fleming that time were tangled together, two good football players. If you want to watch some good action, and watch Patrick Hill, number 30, the fullback for Miami. He kind of epitomizes what this football game should be about if you're Miami. Physical football first, and then finesse you.
2nd down, 7, final play of the first quarter, if indeed we get the play called, and we do not.
First quarter.
So we end one with the Hurricanes looking for some kind of offensive spark. Thus far, dominant Notre Dame effort. 14-0 Notre Dame. We'll return to the Hyundai Sun Bowl after this message and this word from your local station. We began the second quarter at the Sun Bowl, 14-0 Notre Dame. As we mentioned, Miami looking for a spark. They do have a new head coach who's on site, Al Golden, a standout tight end for Penn State from 89 to 91. Caught a game-tying touchdown in the upset over Notre Dame in 1990. He is the new head coach, revived a Temple program, really in tough circumstances. Congratulations on the new hire. Welcome to El Paso.
Glad to be here. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm not quite as busy as you've been.
No, we've been busy. We hit the road running here. First couple weeks, I didn't get a chance to coach on the field yet, but we've been evaluating everybody as a general manager, so to speak, fixing the operation and getting the recruiting going. So once January 1 comes, we'll be back on the road.
Okay, Al's going to stay with us for just a bit. We'll go back down to the field, and you can watch the young man that you are about to coach. 2nd down.
See how intense he gets up here. It's not going real well right now, Coach.
Well, no, I think we found something with the running game.
I do too.
So I think we got a big physical offensive line, and running backs are excellent, so hopefully we'll stay with the running game here.
2nd down and 7. We open this quarter, and here's a very successful run around the left side. So give us some idea of what your routine has been so far.
It's just been nonstop. We've got some of our new staff in place. Some of the old staff has been gracious to stay on and been very professional to finish the game, and we're retaining a couple of the previous staff as well. So we have some of our staff that's just evaluating and recruiting right now, and while these guys finish the game, and it's been 24/7 since we got the job.
Back to the field now as Miami has a 3rd down and 3, trailing by 14, early moments of the second quarter. Here's Ja'Cory Harris, deep across the middle, and it is gone. Gary?
Well, that was a good first down, Coach. But you know what? I read some of the stuff, and you said I know talent counts. We all know that. But toughness, discipline, getting in condition, that's your trademark.
Yeah, I think right now we're having difficulty in this game right now with the penalties.
Right.
We let them convert on a 3rd and 15. We had a 2nd and 18. We got a face mask penalty.
Right.
Would have been 3rd and 18.
Exactly.
So, some of those things we can take care of. That's the good news.
Al, I don't want to say that we've been together a while, but I think I did that game against Notre Dame when you played for Penn State. Tony Sacca threw that one.
You absolutely did it.
I think
1990.
I think I remember saying you rounded off your route on that one, and it wasn't really sharp on it.
Maybe. I rounded off a lot of things.
Well, but your history, you played for Joe Paterno, you coached with Al Groh, and then you built that program at Temple. What are you going to bring? What's job one for you bringing to Miami football?
Well, I think we got to bring an attitude, bring an energy and passion level, back to where it's expectation is for Miami. And I think we got to bring a toughness and discipline, and that includes a mental toughness. And right now,
Picked off.
And that's really Ja'Cory's problem right there.
Intercepted by Harrison Smith. of Notre Dame. They're also flagged down.
Chikori in his career, if you look at this, I mean, he's an effective, smart kid. But I don't know if it was when he hurt his thumb a year ago, he got to start lobbing the ball again. And you got to pour these throws in. Throws it up, you know, that might work in high school, but when you lay them up like that, these good safeties in college football eat them up. And Chikori just is kind of soft tossing too many of them in my mind right now.
During the return, close with foul, face mask, 77 of the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, first down.
The other thing, Al, is, you know, the other challenge at the University of Miami is you got to get people to come out and watch you play, and the way to do that there is you almost got to win them all.
Oh, you got to win. I mean,
yeah.
Look, I've had the good fortune of working in Philadelphia and in Boston, so I understand, what it means to be in a big market, and you got to win. But it's an excellent place. It's a great place to coach and a great place to live.
All right. Thanks,
Thank you so much, Al, for coming by. Good luck.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate
it.
it.
Head coach at Miami. Ja'Cory Harris has had an unfortunate start to his Sun Bowl experience. 3 completions, 2 interceptions so far. And so Notre Dame gets it back after the turnover. Eifert goes in motion, number 80 to the left. Reese down the middle deep. Floyd.
And he went the wrong way on that one. You know what? It was he could have gone to Riddick on that one. You know, and I don't blame him. You know, I mean, he's smart. Tommy Reese is smart. You look for number 3 first. Another flag on the.
Wow.
More coverage was tilted to Floyd's side this time, and he had Reese running right down the. Excuse me, not Reese. He had Riddick running wide open down the other side of the line. That one will come back later. Boy, Miami must have lined up or jumped into the neutral zone again, and you know that one of the worst penalized teams against one of the least penalized teams, and it's playing out that way so far. Yeah,
coming in 99 penalties for Miami, 55 for Notre Dame over the season. Here's a quick toss right side, and we've got a run. Sarah Wood, touchdown, Notre Dame, 34 yards.
You wouldn't think an option play would work with Tommy Reese. Tommy Reese has run 11 times for -4 yards. So they run the option. Watch the block right here by Dever. Outside, comes over and clips. Beautiful shot. It really isn't a clip, but he throws at the linebacker and makes the block to spring it. He gets McCarty.
Andrew Smith, number 48, got faked out as Wood turned the corner, and the extra point attempt coming from David Ruffer. $21-0.
I'll tell you, Tommy Reese, right from the snap, knew he had to get this out quick. He pre-read that he was going to get a crash, and he knew right away. It was almost predetermined, to tell you the truth. That ball was coming out right at the snap, and it's real easy.
13:21 to go first half. All Fighting Irish in the Sun Bowl.
And away we go. Looking at the end zone, throws for Boyd, caught for a touchdown.
Man open. Boyd has to wait for it. Makes the grab. Touchdown.
Intercepted by Notre Dame's Robert Blanton at the 44-yard line.
CBS Sports presentation of the Hyundai Sun Bowl is sponsored by the Home Depot, New York Life Insurance Company, LG, and by Hyundai Holidays. We welcome you back to the Sun Bowl in El Paso. If it looks a little dreary and cold, that's because it's a little dreary and cold.
Or you're a Miami fan.
Yes, exactly. 21 plays, 21 points for the Irish. And
that might be hard to keep up at that pace, but it's a nice pace, isn't it?
Ruffer will kick off. Greg Cooper, number 2, is the deep man of 2. This goes to the right side, and it'll be Storm Johnson, number 24, who brings it out, but not very far.
Harrison Smith, the interceptor on that play, really baits Ja'Cory Harris. Let me show you right here. He's lined up as if he was going to go back this way, but at the snap, he knew he was going to get to the middle of the field. Ja'Cory never accounted for him, never saw him, thought he had a wide open receiver. That's a mental mistake, a soft throw, and then an easy pitch out to the outside. Good, not even really an option play if you really look at it. It's a pitch out all the way with option blocking, and 21-0.
And so now from under center, here's Harris sprinting out to his left.
There's how you throw the football.
Yes, indeed. That looked a little better. Catch made by Travis Benjamin, number 3.
Well, we were talking about those leaders of Miami football, and probably the greatest leader of all time for Miami football, Bernie Kosar right now. I know what he'd be doing. I played with him at Cleveland. He'd be in that huddle, spitting mad, grabbing face mask and saying, this ain't going to happen. You know, this is not going to happen to our football team. We're finishing this football game, and it goes with the job, Vern.
Right.
I told you, it's just not a playing position. It's a leading position. Another bad throw.
Intercepted again. That's 3. It's Harrison Smith's second. Nope.
And they're calling it.
Yeah.
Are they calling it? Yes. I tell you, this was miscommunication. I'll tell you, Damian Barry, number 20, is all over his quarterback right now. Let's see if Ja'Cory Harris thinks that Hankerson should stop in the hole. Boy, that would have been a tight fit. That one is just ill-advised, trying to do too much on a play. Could have gone to the outside with it. Another poor decision by your decision maker. Look at to the outside, how wide open he could have gone and thrown the ball to the sideline and made an easy pitch and catch.
3 interceptions for the guy on the left. Stephen Morris is the guy on the right. He started 4 games and played in 5, but he twisted an ankle. In the second play in practice on Tuesday, they did deem him available, so we might see a change at quarterback. Riddick is in the backfield now to take the direct snap for Notre Dame. He keeps it, comes right, and is caught and dropped. Well, I've seen a duck walking around here today. It's time to cue the duck for the weekly trivia question. Which coach has the most wins in Notre Dame-Miami series history? Now think about that. There have been great coaches and great coaching names in this rivalry. Began in 1955. It was discontinued in 1990 and will be resumed not only today but in 2012. They've signed an agreement to play 3 games. There's Sierra Wood, number 20, who had the 34-yard touchdown run earlier.
Do you know, I read why Notre Dame started the series with Miami?
Yes.
That because they wanted a warm weather game at the end of the season, and in the even years they played USC in California, so they wanted an odd year's opponent in warm weather, and they chose Miami.
And look what became of it.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the historic rivalries, especially in the 80s, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was just...
I mean, it was one I gotta say, when I was playing in the NFL, there wasn't a lot of college games I watched, but I would watch this game.
Yep. Right side, overthrown by Reese.
Got put upside down, too. There's Chris Stewart, and not too happy about it either.
Olivier Vernon is the guy who delivered the ball.
Yeah, and you know what? I think Miami might have to live with a late hit once in a while because they've got to get something going. Somebody has to take charge of this football team.
Lethargy has been the operative concept. Just no spark or enthusiasm at all.
And lack of execution, too.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fair catch call. Now he was...
The lack of execution again. You know, it looked like the Notre Dame defender said, I shouldn't touch this ball.
Yeah. Travis Benjamin was the punt returner.
Now
Blanton comes out of there, but they've already signaled.
Yeah, I wonder how they could have already signaled that. Now, you do have to give the punt returner the opportunity on a fair catch to catch his muff, I believe, while it's in the air. It's the way I think I understand it. There's so many rules, and we learn new rules every game we watch, to tell you the truth. We watched that one last night.
Oh, I watched both of them last night.
Watch down the middle. Fair catch. The ball is bobbled. And then watch the Notre Dame defender say, oh, I shouldn't do this. That is funny. And I think he was right.
Jordan Cowart, number 60. Whoa. If you're not concentrating, sometimes it'll hit you right in the head. New quarterback now for Miami, Stephen Morris. They burned his redshirt year after the concussion suffered by Ja'Cory Harris. He started the last 4 games and then suffered an ankle injury the first day of practice here in El Paso, but deemed ready to go, and he is on in place of Harris. Lamar Miller, number 6. And
started out slow against Virginia, and who wouldn't? Okay, but this is against the Maryland game. He was 2 for 6 against Virginia when he came in there, but in Maryland he had a good football game.
Morris, a freshman out of Miami, and 6'2", 183 pounds.
That winning touchdown pass came with 37 seconds left in the game. He threw for 286 in that football game.
Now let's see how mobile he might be. He's going to hand it off here. So mobility not required. Stephen Morris, it was their intent to redshirt him, and then Harris went down. So at Virginia, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Virginia Tech, and the last 2, of course, they lost them both. He threw for 202, and then South Florida only 78 yards.
And you know, there was a competition between Stephen and Ja'Cory going into this bowl game, and had it not been for a sprained ankle, no one knows for sure who would have started this game.
Yeah, Jeff Stoutland indicated, the interim coach, that he was not going to make a decision until they got here, and then the decision made for him. Here's the first pass by Morris. And on 3rd down, that might be enough to move the chain. Leonard Hankerson, number 85, made the stop.
Well, we haven't talked much about Notre Dame's front 7, okay? Their defensive linemen and the linebackers, because, frankly, they haven't had a lot of plays. I mean, they've been able to stop it. It's been bad execution by the Miami receiver on 1 interception and 2 bad decisions by the quarterback on the other ones.
Mike James is back in the lineup. Play fake to him. Morris steps up. He looked okay then.
Yep, that adrenaline works, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Got a long time to heal. And Stephen Morris from Miami Shores, little stronger arm maybe than Ja'Cory Harris, but you know, Ja'Cory, I really not going to bail on Ja'Cory. You know, he's got beat up in his career. I don't know if he's got a bad shoulder or what. You know, they had those injuries. It's hard to go through and play at the same time.
Here's Mike James, a sophomore. And if you did join us late, his mother killed in a traffic accident a little over a week ago, and the funeral held today in Haines City, Florida. Mike went back to be with the family and rejoined his team here in El Paso last night. 3rd and 4.
Well, that's Big Central Harrison right there, not in the game, because Jermaine Johnson's playing, number 78, in his spot.
Morris, deep left side, man.
That's how you throw it. That's how you have to throw it.
LaRon Bird, number 47.
See, he poured that ball in there. He didn't lob it up. He didn't let the wind affect it. He just threw the ball high to the back of the helmet of the defender that time, and Gary Gray had no chance. A perfectly thrown football by the quarterback. Great execution to the outside by Bird.
That is a gain of 24, a 1st down and 10. Here's Morris.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. Intercepted. Harrison Smith has 3 interceptions in the first half.
You know, I got to say, Harrison Smith is continuing one of the great fortunate streaks of all time, I think, for Notre Dame. Remember, it was Harrison Smith who fell down There's Harrison Smith, who fell down late in the USC game, and Ronald Johnson dropped a sure touchdown pass that would have won it for USC. What happens? Harrison Smith gets an interception a few plays later, and it continues today.
That's his third in the first half. The senior out of Knoxville, Tennessee.
But, you know, he has a red shirt available, Vern. He's one of those players that could come back next year.
This is Robert Hughes, number 33.
Notre Dame does not declare their players as like a redshirt junior. They call them their class, and then they give you their 5th year when you apply for it. And Harrison, is my records are correct, has an opportunity to come back for one more year.
I think you're right. See, he tied a record, but we've still got a half to go. Harrison Smith had 4 interceptions over the course of the season, including that one that Gary just referenced. Here's Reese.
Yep. Receiver fell down on the play that time. I think it was T.J. Jones, fell down in the secondary that time, and nowhere to go with Reese. Well, when Dane Chris went down, that's why I said Tommy Reese. I mean, there's a lot of great football players, and Notre Dame fans are saying, are you crazy? How could Tommy Reese be most valuable player? Michael Floyd is clearly the best player. But without Tommy Reese stepping up and doing what he did, that would have been 3 losses at the end of the year. They would not be here unless that guy gave up the second half of his senior year in high school, when he could have been playing basketball and going to the prom, and went to South Bend, Indiana, and go through spring football to be ready for this football season.
Tommy Reese calls time, the young man who did play as a point guard in basketball at Lake Forest, Illinois. Also said he could hit a curveball.
Yep.
Well, Harrison Smith is making memories here in El Paso. 3 interceptions, and we've still got a long way to go in the first half. 21-0 Notre Dame over Miami, a resumption of one of the great rivalries ever. Here's a cavalcade of memories.
They blocked the punt. 3 in the end zone, bounced on for a touchdown, Miami. Here's Conley. Breaks free for the touchdown. What a great run by the freshman. They run it with McGuire, touchdown. Culver. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
And we're back in the Sun Bowl, 50,000 plus, as this rivalry is renewed. The first voice you heard on that tape, Don Criqui, who is now back doing radio for the University of Miami. He's hidden, but there we go.
There's Don.
There's Don. We go back, we've been friends since 1963. I'm going to date both of us. He started his career in South Bend as a Notre Dame graduate. I was in my first year working for KTBC Television in Austin. And Don and I have known each other ever since. He's a colleague at CBS.
Yeah, how about he and Trumpy doing the games?
Yeah.
Days, right?
There's a flag in the backfield.
Well, it's going to be roughing the passer, isn't it?
I think so. Tommy Reese a little slow getting up. Wow.
That was a great play by Reese to find the defender, too. Reese does it. You know, he kind of looks like your paper boy when he walks in the meeting, doesn't he? Driven into the ground. I mean,
personal foul, roughing the passer, 97 defense, 15 yards to the end of the run, automatic first down.
Yeah, and you know, and that's one, you know, Miami people are going to go, come on, you just showed all those clips of Notre Dame Miami football. That would even made any of the clips as a dirty play. But in modern football, as you see Floyd coming clear across the formation, nobody following the best player for the other team. Another breakdown in the secondary. And this Miami defense cannot give up another touchdown.
Reese
cannot do it.
Reese under, oh, you got it. Reese under center. And off Hughes right side. No, they're down 21-zip with 7:10 to go. And another penalty, they've almost equaled their per-game average.
Right. Well, you really got to give it to Brian Kelly. He has kept this Miami defense completely off balance. Wildcat, bootlegs, deep throws, quick slants. Kelly calls the plays. He always has.
And Matt Austin's getting the players together. I think that's exactly what's going on. Hey, fellas, it's not 1988. So Sean Spence and Braxton Cave, listen to the words of Matt Austin. Again, this is a Southeastern Conference crew. 2nd down and 5.
You know, I played with a lot of Miami football players in the NFL, and they hated that Catholics versus convicts. You know, and I don't blame them. They played tough football. They got labeled improperly. I mean, they did. You know, they were the first ones that kind of brought this swagger to the field, and maybe they need a little more swagger.
Today they do.
Yes.
Well, the reputations enhanced in the '88 game between these two, October 15th. Remember this?
Yep.
They were going back through the tunnel after their pregame workout, and a fight broke out among the two. And Lou Holtz took him back in the locker room and had one of the legendary quotes of all time. You have an afternoon to play, a lifetime to remember, but I want you to do one thing for me. You saved Jimmy Johnson's
blank for me. But for me. Well,
yeah.
I think it's pretty close to Newt's Rockneys, to tell you the truth. That's as good as it gets. That would fire me up.
Oh, goodness. There's Michael Floyd. Oh, he should have had it.
Got cute. He got
yes,
cute.
He did.
He tried to show off. He beat Ryan Hill badly. It was a perfectly thrown ball, and I think he tried to stick up one hand. Come on, Michael. Yeah, that's inexcusable. That's one where if this game turns around the other way, save that highlight. And we know, being in this college football, these games change quick. You know, ask Alabama.
Yeah. 24-0.
Although I don't see Cam Newton on the other side here right now. There's what they need.
Yep.
That's the aggressiveness coming off the edge.
Raymond Buchanan, number 45.
When you're not doing well in zone coverage, you do something else and you let your guys, you turn them loose and you make plays. That was kind of poor running that time. I think Robert Hughes kind of tiptoed through and he paid the price.
Loss of 3, 3rd and 13.
Well,
Michael Floyd, excuse me.
Yeah, no, this is a must stop here. Well, you know, you got to stop Floyd first. Let's see what they do. It looks like they're going to play in and out coverage on Floyd. They are.
Reese looks right for Hughes. Gets a block downfield from Taylor Dever, number 75.
They're in that gray area. They got to go field goal here, don't they? Yes.
Yeah, well, they got a pretty good one now. David Ruffer's going to come on. As we mentioned, he's a walk-on this season. David Ruffer is 15 of 15. Last year, a perfect 5 for 5. So Ruffer, who is close to graduating in economics, second season as the Notre Dame kicker. He was a finalist for the Lou Groza Award.
Yeah, the only thing he struggled on is extra points.
Yeah.
Had one blocked and missed one.
Ryan Cavanaugh is the holder. Yes, he did. 16 for 16 this year, 21 of 21. He said he'd like to come back and play one more year, but he needs to be offered a scholarship. It's a little bit of an expensive.
He's doing a good job. Think he might get one, don't you?
I'm guessing he will. Dusting of snow remains on the Franklin Mountains here in the high desert of West Texas. And time now for the answer to the Aflac trivia question. Which coach most wins? I didn't get this one. Dan Devine. 6 wins in this series. And think about Ara Parsegian. Jimmy Johnson was 3-1.
Yeah.
Ara 5-0-1. And
What were the years? What were the Dan years that he did that? Was Miami then, or was that just one of those?
Yeah, I'm thinking Miami wasn't quite.
No, it would be before Schnellenberger.
Yeah, I think so. Late 70s.
Does that count? That's, yeah, that was before they really turned the corner.
Are you saying that Dan Devine didn't?
Put a little asterisk there.
Okay.
I think, okay.
All right.
Just a little one. Of course, he won a national championship. That's good enough.
Yeah, Craig Cooper. That's right. And now it's time to take a look at our Home Depot tool for success.
Well, Harrison Smith, who fell down in that USC game and got a break, has turned it around. This is his fourth, and he's had 4 interceptions since that fall down and more life. They wouldn't be here without that drop pass, but boy, has he made the most of it. We talked to him yesterday. Great looking kid and really looking forward to playing this football game. Said, I thought I was going to miss ever playing Miami because the next scheduled game isn't until 2012 and he was going to be gone, and when they put this game on the matchup, he said, I just couldn't wait to play it.
The oldest of these players was only 1 or 2 when this series ended, and so many of the guys who were out on the field have no real recollection of the bitterness of the rivalry, but they've studied enough. You've got the idea.
Oh yeah. Well, that documentary too, don't you think? They watched that the U
called the U
30-30. Yep. It was on last night again.
Was it really?
Yes.
Did you stay in last night?
I did stay. Yeah. Let me look at it. As you look at the rushing yards, and I think that's why really important. And Miami has to run the ball. Notre Dame 88-51. Notre Dame this year is 6-0 when they outrush their opponent. Okay, and they've won 26 straight games when they've outrushed their opponent.
3rd down. 24-zip. Stephen Morris on in place of Ja'Cory Harris after Harris threw 3 interceptions. Morris, yes, 1st down.
Yeah.
Chantrell Henderson, one of the young stars in this Miami offensive line. Let's go down to Trace for more.
Well, that's right, Vern. The freshman All-American did not start today. He's been in and out all game, has been really played sparingly because he missed several practices with a nasty stomach virus. Statlin said he's not totally back yet. He's made progress, but conditioning is a factor, and with this altitude, he just wanted to be safe with him, guys.
Okay, Trace, thank you.
I think he's lost like 6-8 pounds. He's down from 365 to 359.
How could he tell?
I know. And he was nothing but the top edge of the big football teams. USC, Notre Dame. Michael Floyd was his host when he came to Notre Dame. Went same high school, right?
They are graduates of the same high school. And Henderson, of course, committed to USC. And then when the probation
stopped again,
the sanctions were announced against Southern Cal. Here's Damian Berry stopped. Just to complete Henderson's story, Lane Kiffin let him out of his commitment, and he opted to not go to Notre Dame despite Michael Floyd's hosting, and he took the opportunity to enroll at the University of Miami.
Let's talk a little bit more about this Notre Dame defense. They deserve it. Bobby Diaco, their defensive coordinator, their 5th different defensive coordinator for Notre Dame in the past 7 years. I think they got the right one now. He's actually funny. We just talked to Al Golden. He's a disciple of Al Groh also.
Yes.
At Virginia.
On 3rd down, it's going to be way short. Bob Diaco, who played at the University of Iowa, lists Hayden Fry also as a mentor for him. There he is right in the middle.
Yep. In the offseason, he films Mad Men for him. He looks just like him.
I know he does.
If he lights up a cigarette, put the camera back on him, okay?
If he does, you got to scoop.
Uh-oh. Shanked the punt. It's one thing playing hard, but you got to execute. Miami's not executing. Rounded off pass routes, drop balls, bad decisions by the quarterback. They just run the gamut. That's how you get behind 24-0.
Now Bosher shank you to the right. Aerial coverage of today's game is brought to you by MetLife. 50,000 plus gathered here at the Sun Bowl. This is the 43rd consecutive year, by the way, that the game has been televised on CBS And I just want to drop a word about Jimmy Rogers, who's a legend with the Sun Bowl.
Yeah.
This is Jimmy's 50th year, 5-0.
Ain't going to get any better than this,
No.
is it? Notre Dame, Miami. He never dreamed of a matchup like this, did he? Or he probably did.
Yeah, he dreamed of it.
Yes.
Jimmy and Jody have become good friends of all of ours over the years. 50 years with the Sun Bowl. Here's Reese.
I missed it.
Yep. Tyler Eifert, incomplete.
Well, we've talked about Al Golden going, and here's Brian Kelly. He said, I got to get to year 2 in year 1 at Notre Dame. I think he's accomplished that. He's building a program. He talks about player development every day. He has a system that he believes in, and now he's going to recruit for defense. This is what he told us. He said, I can manufacture offense. I have to recruit for defense.
2nd down 10. Here's Hughes.
Hughes has learned to be Bettis, Jerome Bettis.
Good, yes.
You know, before he was dancing around. They've told him, Jerome Bettis ran through people. Since Hughes has learned to be Jerome Bettis, he's been really valuable. Going back to Brian Kelly, though, I think there's an obsession by the Notre Dame, people, the Irish.
They're going to measure here.
Is this the guy? Is this the guy?
Right.
Now, I've been saving this. Okay, I got to do this.
Okay.
My buddy Tom Monahan. Okay, I play golf with. He played golf with all the time. He's a Notre Dame fan. When I play golf, everything's good. If this was Tom Monahan, he'd just go, it's good. It's good. Because he never put a 4-foot putt in his life,
Right.
It's good. Close enough. It's good. Is what he said.
It's good?
It's good. He's at the club right now, we would never. I'm always good when I play with Tommy.
Well, you talk about paying your dues. Brian Kelly, a graduate of Assumption College in Massachusetts. Among his responsibilities, he was the women's softball coach at Assumption. He spent much of his career at Grand Valley State, where he won back-to-back Division II championships.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though, that you wonder if you're an Irish. We've seen
By
this
the way,
before,
it was
right?
not good.
No, it was short, but for Tom, it's good, I'm telling you.
Okay.
It is it before. Remember Ty Willingham, the SI cover, Return to Glory?
Yep.
And then with Charlie Weiss, Sporting News, Resurrection of Notre Dame, they're going to just hold back a little bit. They're going to just hold back a little bit.
Reese carries for an Irish first
Big
down.
contract extension for Charlie.
After losing.
Yep, Ty will. Everybody thought Ty was the perfect guy, and Ty's a great coach. But Notre Dame's different. And I know it is one thing I asked Brian, first question I asked him, was Lou Holtz right? Do you have to be a head coach before you come here? And he says he's exactly right. It's a different place.
Here's Reese. Eifert down the middle. Nice defensive play. It's knocked away. That was Von Telemack.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost time to go back to the studio in New York for the Geico halftime report. We've got Tim, Spencer, and Tony Barnhart also drawing work duty on the holiday. New Year's Eve with that bunch. I've got a feeling there's a steakhouse on 52nd Street, New York that's going to get some business tonight.
I wonder if that throw by Reese down the middle that was almost picked off will scare Brian Kelly and kind of slow it down here a little bit. Yes, it will.
And off. Wood. Now it won't.
Again, I watched the USC game last night. Again, the last game of the year that Notre Dame won. I think that Notre Dame was willing to let the clock run out. They were going to run a play, but Hughes ran a big play to put him in position just like that, and then Kelly said, all right, let's attack. They ended up scoring one touchdown at the end of the half that really was the difference in that game. They scored 13 points in the last 2:39 of that football game. At the first half, excuse me.
Here's Reese. And that's a gain down to the 31. Now we just want to take an opportunity now to wish the best to a colleague of ours, Jeremy Schultz, one of our cameramen, one of our core cameramen at CBS, badly burned in a house fire early Thursday morning at his home in Charleston, South Carolina. He's in a burn unit in Augusta, Georgia. His young son and his girlfriend did escape without injury, but Jeremy quite ill, quite sick, quite injured, and we want to wish him the best. Timeout called. 41 seconds to go.
We would like to wish everyone a very happy, safe, and healthy New Year.
41 seconds remaining, second down and 5. And Brian Kelly getting a little animated.
Yeah, and look at that balance. Well, both teams. There's good balance and there's bad balance. Okay, bad balance is on the bottom, 128 yards. Good balance is on the top.
Reese for the day, 9 of 16, 116 yards, 2 touchdown passes, both to Michael Floyd.
Plenty of time. You can always go up and ground the ball. We learned new rules about college last night that you don't even have to have the right number of guys on the field. Nice defense that time.
We've been here almost a half, and we haven't even mentioned excessive celebration yet.
No, well, we might not see it.
Holy cow!
I know.
These guys. Oh, that was last week, fellas.
Yeah. They probably haven't changed.
That'd be my guess. 3rd and 5. Oh, that was a bad one.
No, but that was good pressure inside. That's why. He got...
knee.
Yes. Got forced to get rid of that ball before he really wanted to. And that forced the bad throw. And I don't know if it's an ankle or a knee. The next guy in is Nate Montana.
Joe's son.
Let's see what happened. It was inside, I think it was Regis, wasn't it? Regis number 54, was it?
Vernon, 35.
Oh, was it? 35,
yeah.
Excuse me, Oliver Vernon.
So they will try a 50-yard field goal. See if the streak continues here.
This is risky, seems to me. It'd be great field position for Miami.
This would equal his career long. He got it! Wow. How about that? Ruffer is now 17 of 17 for the season.
Give him the scholarship right now. Why even
so.
go? Does he even have to go in the office and ask?
How about a halftime presentation?
Just inside. And with plenty. I mean, he had it. He had another 5, 8, 10 yards on this one.
See your favorite stars of TV, music, and movies, plus live performances by Kid Rock and P. Diddy. Queen Latifah hosts the People's Choice Awards live Wednesday only on CBS. Well, last play from scrimmage, Tommy Reese, apparently a knee injury.
Yeah, Oliver Vernon, number 35. You were right. We watched it one time, and that's what I got. You know, it looks very, very innocent when you watch it in slow motion, but he twisted him as he went down, and we'll see if he's okay to come out in second. I know what I'd like to do at halftime. I know what you do at halftime all the time. You're ready to celebrate.
Yeah.
You have your normal.
I'll have a hot dog
yeah.
or two. Yeah.
That's your book, isn't it?
That's
hot dog at halftime? Okay, I know what I'd like to do.
Yes.
I'd like to go in the Miami locker room because there's going to be some calling out of people in the Miami locker room. And if you're not a man and you don't show for the second half, you're going to get called out, I think.
Travis Benjamin with the return. Well, Tommy Reese out with an injury. Dane Christ was the starter most of the year, and here's how he was hurt. That play against Tulsa, October 30th, torn patella.
Right.
And Nate Montana, if Tommy Reese cannot come back, who was a walk-on at Notre Dame, Joe's son, and then went back to the West Coast and came back to Notre Dame. Here's Morris. Caught it.
And see, that was what I was thinking about if the field goal was missed, Vern, is it would could put Miami back in the football game. I thought it was a little bit of a high-risk chance for Brian Kelly on that long field goal. We stretch right down, 4 vertical. That's what they call it, 4 vertical, 2 on the hash, 2 just outside the numbers. Well thrown ball, go up and get it. You got one more throw, and we know what can happen on one more throw, don't we?
Cam Newton.
Yep.
Garvin Adams. SEC championship game. Tonight on Dave, don't miss Jay-Z, Chef Jamie Oliver, and music from Rihanna, followed by the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson tonight only on CBS.
Well, guys over here huddled around getting warm. Not much going on there. Not many people getting in like the old Miami Hurricanes, getting in each other's face and demanding more effort.
The freshman Stephen Morris out of the spread. Ankerson starts in motion to the right. Now Morris pulls up. Incomplete. LaRon Bird might have been 2 feet behind him, but drop passes have been among the many problems Miami has had.
I think if you looked early, you know, maybe decision making, that you can't give a drop pass on that one, but decision making by the quarterback, some big runs by the defense, they've given up big runs, and then drop passes. The injury to Ja'Cory obviously didn't help them, but they got a lot of good football. I'm telling you, I watched them practice. They got a lot of good football players on this team. They're pretty close.
Morris, little comeback route. It is caught.
Yeah, that's a curious call.
Yes, it is, because that might be the last play of the first half.
Right, I thought that was going to the end zone for sure. Was there time left? Our clock says 0, so I don't. There must be more time, huh?
Well, Miami's coming back on the field.
Kick a field goal. There must have been on the field, the official has told.
Now take a look at our clock on the left side.
Wow, I didn't see that. I was looking at the other clock that went to 0.
Point 2.
There we go.
So Matt Bosher, number 25.
As I was saying, wrongly at first, perfect strategy.
Well, this is from 47. Within his range, his long for the year 51. To try to get Miami on the board, and it might be good enough. Yes! A spark. A little tiny spark for the Hurricanes.
Stephen Harris did his job. He showed that he can throw the ball. Now let's see if he can get his other guys playing out there.
Notre Dame wins the race to the locker room as well. 27-3 halftime in the 77th Sun Bowl. Let's go down to Tracy, who's with interim coach Jeff Stoutland.
Coach, I'm sure not the start you envisioned. 4 interceptions, penalties, drop balls. How do you correct this?
Well, this whole group here has had a really rough 4 weeks, okay? So we're kind of, these kids here are tough kids, and I really feel like we're going to come out of here in the second half. We just got a nice drive. We got a nice field goal. Hopefully that can propel some momentum, and we can come out in the second half and play like we're capable of, because we really haven't done that.
I saw the frustration by especially this offense on the sideline, on the bench. How much time are you going to have to spend in the locker room just telling them to believe and keep focused?
I don't think a lot. You know why? Because I believe in those kids, and I believe they're going to come out here in the second half. And maybe you could talk to me then in the second half.
Thanks a lot, and good luck.
And that's the end of the half, 27-3. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, Tony Barnhart will be along with the Geico halftime report after this word for your local station.
Año nuevo en El Paso, el Sun Bowl!
They do love this game in this town. 77th year of the Sun Bowl in El Paso. And a sellout crowd. A moment ago, Notre Dame leading 27-3. Here was Tracy with Brian Kelly.
Coach, we saw Tommy Rees go off with an apparent knee injury. He was warming up a little earlier. Can you give us his status?
Yeah, he bruised his knee, and we taped him up, put a knee brace on him. He felt pretty good. I don't know that he'll be running any option for us in the second half, but we're going to give him a shot and see how he looks with the first series.
As far as the game has gone, I mean, you can't ask for a better first half. Offensively, defensively, what have you done to just confuse Miami?
Well, I think we've done a lot of things out of profile. You know, we've run a lot more two-back play action, direct snap, things that we felt like we could get Mike Floyd one-on-one. You know, they're a heavy team in the run. They're dropping their safeties down, so we've been able to get some favorable matchups.
Thanks a lot.
Yep.
Vern?
All right, thank you, Tracy. Gary, you want to analyze the analyst?
He did a pretty good job, didn't he? Well, he's got a future, doesn't he? He's got a future at a coach, too. Brian has always been good. I mean, at Grand Valley State, he manufactured wins, national championships. He reminds me of Tressel, Jim Tressel at Ohio State. What he's done at Notre Dame is what Jim Tressel did at Ohio State. He's selling the players that Notre Dame just isn't a stepping stone to the NFL, like Tressel did at Ohio State, that it matters to play at Notre Dame. These are the memories. This is what it's worth. And then in the future, there'll be pro football there if it's good enough for you.
You know, I think of what Jeff Stoutland, the interim coach, said to Tracy at the beginning of the half. You know, we've had a tough 4 weeks.
Right.
They really, really have.
I agree with them. I 100%. But, you know, as a player, and those guys were all recruited by Randy Sherman, and he's put together a good football team, Vern. They're talented. Right now they're searching, and that's why I kept saying in the first half, you got to look to each other. You know, you just can't keep looking for the coaching staff or somebody else to get you going. You got to have those leaders on the field and part of the team. And I think it's emblematic of what was wrong with this team all year. There's not those guys on the field that are providing the leadership.
Well, we'll see what transpires here as we get set for the start of the third quarter in the Sun Bowl in El Paso, and Miami will get the ball. Lamar Miller is the deep man, number 6 for the Hurricanes. Down 27-3. They got a field goal as time expired to end the first half of play. Notre kicks off, and it's a good one. Through the end zone, touchback, Miami. And how about a look at the halftime trends?
Well, I'm sure Tommy Rees is going to be right at the top. There it is. He's done what he has to do. He's not going to be, as a rookie, a 60% passer. He's going to be a 50% passer, but he doesn't turn it over. You can see what the Miami quarterbacks have done. It's hard to be fired up when you're making mistakes, mental mistakes as a quarterback. Michael Floyd, we told you in the open that he is a tough matchup for this Miami team. And Harrison Smith broke the record, and he's been having a little charmed life since that play against USC.
Morris opens the third quarter with a toss that is ruled incomplete out to the right side. Intended for Hankerson.
And you know, Bobby Diaco, the defensive coordinator, got Miami again. He gave a look as if it was a single high safety and they were going to throw the quick out, and it turned out to be 2 safeties. Watch the safeties go deep, and that means the corners can jump these throws, and it was the perfect defense for that call.
And that was Gary Gray, number 4. There's Bob Diaco. Toss, right side. Damian Barry, number 20. Not much there in that effort either. Gang tackling taking place by Notre Dame. 27-3. Ja'Cory Harris, the starter, threw 3 interceptions and was benched for Stephen Morris, the freshman. Morris, there's Ja'Cory Harris on the sidelines. 3 picks in this ball game, and it's now 3rd down 8.
Talking to some of the Miami people at halftime about Ja'Cory, and they think that the criticism he got all year has just gotten to Ja'Cory. He's just a beaten down guy, and I've been there before. It's tough.
3rd and 8, tipped, incomplete.
Good coverage, good throw. You know, this Notre Dame, man, it looks like Manti Te'o might be down on this play. Yes. He doesn't lay on the ground. He's a wonderful football player. Does he run into his own player here? I don't know, but 2 defenders on the play at the same time.
This is Teo number 5, and he was hit, it appears, Gary, by his own man.
Yeah, he bumped knees or something on the play.
Looks like Robert Blanton might have been in the collision with.
You know, and this secondary for Notre Dame has only given up, and it might sound like a lot, but 10 yards per completion is pretty darn good. So good, in fact, that it's the best since 1993 for this Notre Dame defense when they averaged 9.5 per completion. So they've done a good job in the secondary.
Manti Te'o, one of the better defenders for this Notre Dame unit. Time taken. We'll be right back.
Manti Te'o is the
Back in El Paso, Notre Dame 27, Miami 3, and the Hurricanes getting ready to give up the football on their opening series of the third quarter. Did not find the spark for which they were searching to open the third. John Goodman is back. This is Matt Bosher's punt, and a fair catch taken at the 35-yard line by John Goodman. A 43-yard punt, nothing on the return.
Well, we're going to take a look at Tommy Reese. Brian said he's going to get one. That's a big shot. I think that might be Dane Christ and Kyle. I know Kyle Rudolph is the one to the right with the big tall guy with the blue hat. I assume the guy with the red stocking cap and the hoodie on is Dane Christ. But look at this guy. He's big without his uniform on.
Tight end injured, out for the year. One of 3 key players offensively for Notre Dame. With the brace on, here's Hughes coming right. The brace is, oh my goodness. Popped out from behind. A chase for the ball, and did it go out of bounds before it was recovered?
I think it might have been recovered or pushed out. Brandon Harris, I think, is the guy that popped it out.
Right.
Well blocked play again by that Notre Dame offensive line. Dever does a nice job getting his block, and then Hughes does the Jerome Bettis imitation. Gets downfield. Now watch Harris. Watch him pop it out. And then it spins Notre Dame's way. His right hand punched that ball. Watch that ball spin to the right, to the sideline, and out of bounds. Now why are they moving it back?
Yeah. Matt Austin?
Ruling is that the fumbler recovered his own fumble out of bounds. By rule, the ball will be placed back at the spot of the fumble.
Boy, I learn a new rule every day. Didn't the Miami player knock the ball out of bounds?
I guess the rule is that Hughes himself, the fumbler, recovered out of bounds.
Yeah, but
listen to me. I'm repeating what Matt Austin
I don't
said.
get that one. That one defies logic. It's like a golf rule. One of those. You're going to have to get ready for the golf rules again.
Are you suggesting that a loose football is the same as a loose impediment?
Impediment, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
A bug or a leaf, like Phil. Remember that leaf that?
Sure. Well, in this case, there's no doubt the ball did move.
Well, this. And it was hit by the Miami player. It was the impediment was made, the punch out was made by the Miami player.
And this has to do with the spot where
where it happened. Where it happened.
Yeah, exactly. There it is. Harris punched it out.
Now I assume if Miami would have recovered it right there, they would have got where it was.
Yeah.
We had some talk from the truck that it's where offensive player fumbles it, it's from the spot of the fumble.
It still goes into the books as a 25-yard run. And Notre Dame has the ball at the 40-yard line with a 27-3 lead. You heard Brian Kelly tell Tracy that Reese has a brace on his bruised knee. Now here's the handoff. Sierra Wood, number 20, goes left. And the tackle is made by Colin McCarthy, number 44.
Well, Ed Warner, the offensive line coach, told us yesterday that Zach Martin and Taylor Dever, the 2 tackles, are pretty athletic guys. Watch them turn around. Zach Martin gives his block over there. Dever comes the other way and pulls in. Good play by that offensive line. 2 tackles doing the job. One a freshman, one a senior. Reverse.
Riddick, we saw them practice this yesterday. Here's Reese. Goes left side, and it's tipped and incomplete.
Yeah, covered well downfield that time by the Miami defense. They did not fall for the trickery and forced just an incompletion.
Ryan Hill was the primary defender. JoJo Nicholas, number 29, was also there.
Well, it's going to end up out of the Wildcat that Reese is going to get the ball back. But no fake to it at all, because at the end of it, they had to come back to Floyd, who wasn't the primary receiver at all.
And so it's 3rd and 3. Reese with time. Delivered across the middle and caught. Let's see if it's enough for the first down. Sierra Woods made the tackle.
This is as you can see the brace on his left knee. Again, that was the previous play on the reverse pass that he threw. He got popped again. See the big brace on the left knee. It's going to be 4th and short, I guess.
4th and less than a foot. Hughes moves the chains. First down.
I want to go back to Taylor Dever, that offensive tackle for Notre Dame. He's got a great story about him. He came to Notre Dame as a highly recruited player out of Nebraska. He narrowed it down to Nebraska, Michigan, and Notre Dame. Bill Callahan, fired. Lloyd Carr, retired. Charlie Weiss, fired.
Yes.
That guy, he went to the right place because the other guys went first. But boy, I'll tell you, he's had to go through a lot. He came as a freshman, almost quit because he came as a high school freshman and went through spring ball, stuck it out, and it's paid off great for him.
Here's Hughes running pretty well today. Robert Hughes, I told you he was one of the stars in that come-from-behind win at Southern California last regular season game.
Well, again, it's a must-stop for this Miami defense. There's still time. We know how these football games go. You know, you get a touchdown, the other team starts looking at the scoreboard, and all of a sudden you put a game that looks out of reach into a real football game, but it has to start with the defense. They got to get a stop.
Tommy Reese, 18 years of age, true freshman. I swear he could have been one of the children in The Sound of Music.
Yeah, Paperboy, right?
Yes, exactly.
Will be used.
Now we've got more game clock issues. The one in the north end zone, we're told, is...
So now the play clock and the game clock are down.
Yeah, and the scoreboard is devoid of lights. Must have something to do with the unexpected snow. Fakes the draw. Into the end zone. There's a trip and incidental contact, no flag.
Yeah, this one could have been picked off. Their safety was sitting on this play all the way, and he kind of bumped into his own guy. I think it was Brandon Harris again. Got to get up 2 hands for it, but kind of shoved him out of the way at the same time, and Jared Campbell had a play on it, but no, you ain't getting that call, Tommy. Not getting that one. You're lucky you didn't get that one intercepted.
Jared Campbell was the guy closest to the ball with the opportunity. And now 3rd down, 7. 11:27 to go, 3rd quarter. Could be delay.
Notre Dame.
There was a flag thrown, but it's picked up because timeout was called by Brian Kelly on the Notre Dame sideline. 27-3, Fighting Irish over the Hurricanes. CBS Sports presentation of the Hyundai Sun Bowl is sponsored by Sonic, The Hartford, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, and by Verizon. We are in El Paso. A little snow overnight. You see the Franklin Mountains. Aerial coverage of today's game brought to you by MetLife. And his issue with the...
Yeah, if you're wondering how Notre Dame knew how to call timeout, because I was looking at the play clock right here not working, but they got another one back here. They don't think it's fair to the quarterback or the teams, so the field official is also keeping it on the field, but there's other play clocks. My fault. I did not see the one low on the wall over there.
You shall not be held blameless.
Well,
you will be held accountable. Yeah.
If it wasn't so cold, I would have went down and found it.
There's Michael Floyd with a catch for the first down at the 15-yard line.
He's going to be a great NFL player, and Notre Dame people are telling me to shut up right now. Right?
Michael told us yesterday that he's a junior, and he's going to consider the option of declaring for the NFL. He'll be advised. He's probably still is being advised right now.
Well, it's a strong receiver class this year. A.J. Jones, you got
A.J.
Green, Julio Jones. I was going to Julio Jones next. I mean, Jonathan Baldwin. There's receivers all over the country that are going to be impact players in the draft. So, what do you do it? Do you come out this year? Do you come back again? It's a tough decision. Brian Kelly said we're going to recruit him.
Yep. Ow, how about that?
Yep.
Couldn't hang on. He's got 2 touchdown grabs already today. He should have had another when he went for a one-hand.
Right, and this one, I think he had to go one-handed
at
it. Okay, the other one I thought was a little bit of a lackadaisical play. This one, I think he laid out. It's the only way he could have got it, and he almost did. He is handling Ryan Hill. You got to do a little better than that. What's the problem with, because Floyd is so big, it's hard to jam him at the line of scrimmage. He's like, Michael Irvin was tough to jam at the line of scrimmage. He's like Terrell Owens big. That's how big he is, and it's tough to jam at the line of scrimmage.
Out of the gun, second down. Well, Riddick, and he fumbled. Theo Riddick out of the Wildcat, and a fumble recovered apparently, by Notre Dame.
Yeah, all bounces seem to be going Notre Dame's way, don't they, in this game?
If you're a Miami fan, you certainly think so. Riddick, the sophomore out of Manville, New Jersey. Zach Martin recovered it.
That was a great hit by Telemac that time, wasn't it?
Yes.
He's the one, number 7, that put the hit on him and caused that almost turnover for the Miami defense.
And it's third down, 3rd and 10. 5 wides, empty backfield.
Well, I tell you, the Miami safeties are just talking to each other. They're having a tough time getting lined up.
This is the second pass efficiency defensive team in Division I, Miami. Caught. Eifert, the tight end. It's going to be 1st and goal.
Well, I'll tell you, Tyler Eifert, for a young player right here, really showed how being a smart receiver helps the quarterback. Watch him come back and meet the ball. Eifert is a safety valve to the outside. He reads zone. Now watch him attack the ball. See him attack that football. If he would have sat back, that ball would have been knocked down on the play. Eifert was a defensive back in high school and a receiver in high school. And you see, he saw that feeling of knowing to get it helped out his quarterback.
1st down, goal. 9:18 to go, 3rd quarter. Hughes.
Look at that. Who does that remind you of? That's Pettis. That's Gerard's the bus.
About the same size, aren't they? Yep. Jerome may have had
at his Notre Dame weight.
Yeah, okay.
Not at the end of his career.
or now.
No, well, he did pretty good with that weight, though, didn't he?
Yes, he did. The pile never moved north. It always seemed to go south.
Well, with up there in the next league, Peyton Hillis is showing also. You don't have to be there's a place for the big running back in the next level of play. You don't have to all be scat backs.
13th play of the drive coming up for Notre Dame. No touchdown signal yet. It's going to be down a foot away from the end zone.
This was just blown up front. That Miami defensive line made it happen on the opposite side. Defensive tackle that time, Marcus Forston, is the guy that blew it up, and think with Bailey get cleaned up on
yes.
the Mosaic Bailey.
Yes, it
57.
was.
It's hard to tell. There's so many on the play.
All right, 3rd down. Hughes. Oh, boy, was he.
Yes, he was.
Oh, my goodness. Colin McCarthy, number 44, was right there to meet him.
Well, he's the leading tackler. He's been the leading tackler. 33 starts, gets it, and doesn't back up an inch. That's how you play linebacker, number 44.
And so they will go with David Ruffer, the perfect field goal kicker. He's not missed once this year.
Yeah, but this is extra point length.
Yes. Yeah. 19 yards. He's already tacked on a 50 and a 40. And he gets it through. Nice job of holding by Ryan Cavanaugh as the snap was a little to the right. And there's a flag down, we're told. Oh.
Yeah, they probably will decline
Yeah.
that, won't they?
Offside defense.
Matt Austin from the Southeastern Conference having trouble with his microphone in these 37-degree conditions. Time call. I went out last night out of the hotel and thought I was at my home in Steamboat Springs, Colorado. It was snowing heavily. And look at these comparative temperatures in El Paso. 36 degrees and windy. In Notre Dame, 53. They've got some showers in Coral Gables, 74 degrees and sunny. It's the Sun Bowl.
Well, you know, that's always been one of the arguments that the Big Ten people make, and they've got a point. You know, all these bowl games and the northern teams like Notre Dame, all these bowl games happen in the South with the nice weather.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the arguments like the New England Patriots is, yeah, we always have to go play in your weather. What if you had to build a team to play in the cold also?
Right.
So those teams in the South that have to go out and play maybe Wisconsin or Ohio State when it's 20 degrees, you have to build your team a little differently in the North than you do in the South.
Michael James is the deep man. Here's Ruffer's kick. James at the 10-yard line. It's Lamar Miller instead. And he's out all the way to the 43-yard line.
Yeah, but there's a flag on the play. Miami is 114th in the country in penalties. Notre Dame is 9th. Let's see who this one's on.
Austin Collinsworth.
Miami.
Made the tackle for the Irish. 1st and 10.
All right, here's one of your favorite shows. I know this.
What?
That's Matt Austin. No, I know this. Come on, I know you well. Monday on CBS, 2.5 Men's first new episode of the year is a shocker. Catch Charlie Sheen and John Cryer in TV's #1 comedy, Monday only on CBS. I've developed an awareness of your viewing habits over the year. Now, if you
kind of outed me on that one.
Yeah, of course. I can't wait to hear your critique of Live to Dance.
I watch all of it, to tell you the truth. Well, let's see if Miami can figure out a way to run the ball. They got to put together a drive, don't they? I mean, a well put together drive. They're big up front. You know, this Notre Dame defense has stopped them. I mean, let's be honest. It's been interceptions early, but every time that Miami's tried to run the ball, they've run it 16 times for 64 yards. And, you know, I think number 95, Ian Williams, the nose tackle, back from that 4 games off, has been doing the job, and they can't move him.
Does a nice job right there, but they do gain yardage on the ground out to the left side. Well, Randy Shannon, relieved of his responsibilities at head coach. Al Golden has taken over, but a lot of coaching changes, Gary, this time of the year.
Well, there sure have been, and you know, you get a lot of publicity about this, and even, you know, guys that are winning a lot of games are getting let go, and the decision is that you're not the right guy for the program. And you know what's changed, Vern, is the amount of money they're paying the coaches now. And, you know, when you do that, the demands of the fans and the alumni is to win right away. I think Henderson just lipped off, by the way.
Look, bench. Let's see,
Chantrell Henderson just limped off on the play. And is Mai Taiteo out there, by the way? I didn't even look.
Manti Te'o, I don't see him.
Oh, he's
second down and 1. This is Storm Johnson, number 24. Well, let's get more from Tracy Wilson.
Well, guys, it's Manti Te'o's right knee. They put a brace on it. No word on whether he'll return. He did some light running on the sideline. He was on the bike for a while, but he's right at the sideline right now, hoping to get back in, so that's good news, guys.
All right, thank you, Trace.
Well, that's the way to run the ball. And now you should have some play action off of it.
And there is nobody open, however, and Morris is forced out of bounds by Anthony McDonald, number 54. Well, Manti Te'o, outstanding linebacker for Notre Dame, injured just a few moments ago.
Yeah, ran into his own player, and then they fell on his knee. I think right at the end of the play, as they fall on his knee at the right side, watch it get bent to the side. That was at the end of the play. You could see where he maybe hyperextended it or whatever.
Second down, 8. Play action, pressure.
Wonderful play.
It's caught Hankerson, yes.
That's the way to come back and get the ball, and a great throw by Stephen Morris. See, I think this is the formula. You know how Notre Dame protects Tommy Rees? That's what you got to do with young freshman quarterbacks. Protect them. Play action pass, get the running game going, and Morris does a great throw on the play.
That was Jamorris Slaughter, number 26, with the pressure. And Hankerson comes back, sheds one tackler.
Yep.
And Harrison Smith finally knocked him out of bounds. Third down and 1. Lamar Miller, number 6. And according to the unofficial yellow line, he's short.
Well, I'll tell you, Miami, we haven't seen much of Damian Berry in this game. He's been a horse for them all year. Jeff Stoutland, the offensive line coach who built this running game, been averaging 190 yards a game. It's the interceptions all year. I mean, they came into this game 23 interceptions, which is worst in the NCAA, tied with Buffalo for the most interceptions in college football, and they've done it again.
That much needed for the first.
But Lamar Miller's going to be a great player before he leaves Miami in that long line of tailbacks for Miami. And I heard Storm Johnson, the freshman tailback, was great in practice all week. Is another one of those tailbacks that's going to be around, and Al Golden can build his offensive system around. He has not hired an offensive coordinator yet.
Right. Mark Whipple is the current offensive coordinator.
They're going to change their defense, too. If you're a Miami fan, they're going to go to the Al Groh, Nick Saban type defensive look, a 3-4 type base package, recruit bigger, stronger guys in two-gap, not the 4-3 attack.
On fourth down, no. Fleming is one of those there. Ethan Johnson was also
absolutely. I was going to say Ethan Johnson. The penetration, Vern, you got it right. I mean, come on, these Notre Dame guys are just winning. Look at them winning. Ethan Johnson was just too much on the play that time. A lazy block, and Miami just did not have their head in this football game. Receivers, quarterbacks, and now offensive line.
First 30-3, Notre Dame throttling Miami with 4:54 to go in the third. Both teams playing in their first Sun Bowl. Here's Reese and a reverse. This is Riddick all the way down to the 32.
Do you give Tommy Reese a block on this, Vern? I'm going to let you decide, okay?
Okay, all right.
When it comes around, you decide if Tommy Reese
Number
gets
13.
a block. Watch Tommy Reese.
All right.
Reverse. Keep your eye on him. See if he's in there. Now watch
there
him.
we go.
Now watch this.
No.
It worked, though.
I know. No, he backed
just kind of stood there and backed up.
He backed into air.
Yes, I know, but it worked. I'd be claiming it. I'm telling you that right now.
I can see him in the coaching film session.
Right. Oh, boy.
That would have been called a pick in basketball.
It was.
Huh?
Yep. Moving pick.
First down. Hughes. That's at the 30. Yeah, this is a moving screen.
Yes, absolutely. You're not going to have to worry about weather. One more week, you're inside. Burn.
Look at that. Oh,
yeah,
boy. Yeah, you're right. Just a little early basketball reference here. Kentucky, by the way, a big win earlier today on CBS over Louisville. Ball control. Tommy Reese. There has been a Rex Grossman reference made, the old Florida quarterback now with the Redskins.
He's playing.
Yeah, that Reese looks a little bit like him. This is Sierra Wood.
That ball's out. That was ripped out.
Who got it?
Yes, sir!
Well, Ray Armstrong comes up with the ball in his hands. One would think that would indicate that he grabbed it.
Yeah, this might be a review on this one.
Josh Holmes apparently ripped it out, number 92.
Yes, it was.
Josh, there it is. Oh, yeah.
Josh, it was his knee down, though, when he ripped it out. That's the question. And look at Notre Dame's going to hurry it up. I mean, you can't stop it if you're in the replay booth to look at it.
Steve Landis is the replay official, and he does not stop play.
Good job by Reese. Good protection by that offensive line.
And Eifert with the catch.
I'll tell you, Tyler Eifert is a tough matchup. I'm going to say it again. That offensive line, remember, this is a sack team. And they do a good job protecting their quarterback. Reese looks at the first level. It's not there. Goes to the second level and hits that matchup, Tyler Eifert. 6'6", 240, 245. Good-looking target.
Yep, pretty good size, huh? First down 10. Well, Hughes, great penetration defensively by Marcus Forston, number 99.
He's had a good football game. Marcus is one of those guys from that class of 2008 that was named #1 in the country, that recruiting class. Good
150, excuse me, Gary, 1:53 to go, third quarter. On New Year's Eve afternoon here on CBS, the 43rd consecutive year that CBS and the Sun Bowl folks have collaborated to bring this bowl contest to the country. Hughes again. Notre Dame playing here for the first time, as we mentioned. They actually played their first bowl game, Notre Dame did, in 1925, the Rose Bowl in Stanford. And the officials at Notre Dame decided they didn't like the experience, and they prohibited the Irish football team from playing in bowl games from that point until 1970, when the late Jim Hoss-Brock helped negotiate a deal to bring the Irish to Dallas to play Darrell Royal's Texas Longhorns. More to follow. On third down. Almost intercepted, it's incomplete. I was working in Dallas, Gary, at the time, and it was such an enormous deal to get Ara Parseghian and the Fighting Irish to Dallas. And we had this huge banquet at a downtown hotel. And the governor of Texas at the time was a fellow named Preston Smith. Didn't know a whole lot about football. He was there to introduce the Fighting Irish coach. And he said, "Welcome to the great state of Texas, to the Fighting Irish and their coach, Ara Parseghian." And Ara stood up, didn't miss a beat, and he said, "Thank you, Governor Schmidt." Here's Ruffin trying to keep his perfect streak in hand. It is up.
Nope.
Oh, my gracious.
You jinxed him.
I know. It was, no, that's all Ara Parseghian's fault. Blame it on the former governor.
We give him a scholarship and he misses one.
Oh, my gracious.
Well, you also, on this day is a traditionally, this is the day, New Year's Eve in 1973, when Ara won his biggest game. Number 3 Notre Dame beat number 1 Alabama. Ara against Bear Bryant, the 1973 Sugar Bowl, 24-23, New Year's Eve. Remember that? Come on, you remember the speech. You got to remember that.
I'm learning about this television business when you got somebody in your ear talking to.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah. Deep left side. Oh, flag? No flag. Gary Gray defending. Travis Benjamin, number 3.
Ball was pretty good coverage that time. I think that's a good no call, to tell you the truth. Ball was underthrown. Receivers got to stop, make the play, and force the official to call interference on him. I think it was a pretty good first down call, though. Try to catch Notre Dame thinking run, put a cheap one on the board.
Stephen Morris replaced Ja'Cory Harris in the first half after Harris threw 3 interceptions. Damian Berry. Well, David Ruffers' perfect season just came to a close. Tommy Reese. It's all right, fella.
Pretty good job. Guy gets it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Reese?
Yeah.
Telling you, he's one of those guys.
Yeah.
They got some good recruits coming in. They got good quarterback there redshirting, but sometimes you get a guy that just refuses to give up the job.
You say he doesn't have the strongest arm.
Yep.
I remember a pretty good quarterback there at Notre Dame who was one of the better quarterbacks in the NFL, in the history of the NFL. His name was Montana, and his son plays for the Irish right now. That's the end of the third quarter with the score.
Michael Floyd, happy holidays. Beat Miami this weekend. Go Irish.
I'm Matt Titell, happy holidays, and hi, Mom and Dad.
And we're back for the fourth quarter. A month and a half ago, the Irish didn't know if they'd be playing in a bowl this year. They won their last 3 games, Utah, Army, and at Southern California to qualify. And they're on the verge of winning their 8th of the year. Here's a little toss out to Michael James, who is tackled at the 33-yard line. Gary, we were just talking during the break. One of the unique aspects of college football is this break between the end of the regular season, almost a month before you get into these games.
And Brian Kelly should know. You remember last year it was his team at Cincinnati when he took the Notre Dame job, and they had the long month in between, and his team did not show up to play Florida. Just didn't have it, that Cincinnati team. He kind of had a hint that that could happen to this Miami team. And and you have to make tough decisions when you're in this business, and now you got a month before your team plays. And it's one of the tough things, and the kids have to go through it, and no matter what the Miami coaches tried to tell their players, it's tough to go out there and know that everything's going to change and still play a surging Notre Dame team.
Here's John Goodman awaiting the punt. He will return this one. His first return of the day, and it's not going to be for much, as Goodman is down at the 21-yard line. 55-yard punt, 3-yard on the return.
Yeah, there's no Timmy Brown or Rocket Ishmael. They're 96th in the country in punt returns for the season.
Goodman's averaging 1.4 per return
for the team.
Yeah.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Well, if you've been with us all day, you know this will be Notre Dame oriented. Michael Floyd, 2 first-half touchdown receptions, 14-0 Notre Dame. Sierra Wood had a 34-yard touchdown run on the option to increase the margin to 21-0. And the defense, 4 interceptions in the first half, 3 off Ja'Cory Harris and 3 by Harrison Smith. That equaled a Sun Bowl record from 1968. David Ruffer had 2 first-half field goals, 40 and 50 yards, 27-0. Finally, Miami got on the board with Matt Bosher's 47-yard field goal, but Ruffer countered with a 19-yarder before missing his first of the season. And so here we are in the fourth quarter, and the Irish fans going to celebrate on into the night, I would think. Can you imagine the winter clothes sales that have gone on here in the last 3 days?
Yeah.
Here's the play in which they scored, the little toss out to Wood. I mean, the long-term forecast was for the high today to be in the upper 40s. We've not gotten out of the 30s yet.
Loss of 2 on the play to the 19-yard line. 2nd and 12.
And we're told that when they went after their walkthrough, we were here when that was going
yes.
on. Ja'Cory Harris had never seen snow before. That was
person.
Well, I assume
right,
that.
Right.
I mean,
okay. All right.
We saw White Christmas,
And Marcus Forston, again, he has been a force up there. 99 that time, again in the backfield.
Well, David Zarilla, California guy, huh?
He's never seen snow either.
Well, this is a
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
wonderful group of men and women at CBS, and our core college group travels together. Skip Shackelford, who's been with this series since it began, Philadelphia native. On and on the list goes. And we are all together from mid-September until the Sun Bowl, and we'll take a little hiatus. Some will play golf, Gary. Some of us will do basketball.
Yeah.
And Trace has 2 boys to take care of.
Yeah, not just as much. That's like
Yeah.
playing basketball.
Yeah, exactly. 4th and 19. Travis Benjamin is back as Miami's going to get the ball back. Not particularly effective,
Good
but
roll.
it gets a good roll.
It's
It
an
sure
Irish
did.
roll all the way
Wow.
today, hasn't it been? The bounces have been going their way.
Well, the Irish eyes are smiling today. 45-yard punt. Nothing on the return. 30-3. Well, let's go back to one of the key games between these two.
Right.
October 15th, 88 in Notre Dame Stadium. Miami, Cleveland, Gary.
I'm about to take away one of Notre Dame's national championships and give it to Miami here.
Huh?
Okay, either his knee is down or the ball broke the plane. One of the two, okay? But I think in modern day, with replay, Notre Dame would not have gotten that fumble.
And they did get it.
Yes, they did.
And
that broke and got a national championship for them. So all the Notre Dame people that were happy for what I said a whole game, send them to Vern. Vern wanted to do that. Well, that was me. That was me.
Jimmy Johnson just called from the West Coast and said, thank you very much. That was Lamar Miller, number 6.
Yeah, Lamar Miller's going to be a star. I'm telling you, he's fast, he's tough. He's going to have a great offensive line in front of him. He's going to have a coach that wants to run the ball. He's going to be a star.
On first down. Morris under some pressure. It's tipped and dropped. Storm Johnson. Well, how about the Irish? They'll be in their second year under Brian Kelly, and their schedule next year.
Yep. You know, there's couple things to point out. In the middle right here, this is the opportunity. Air Force, USC at home, and Navy. But how about the beginning? What strikes you about the beginning right there? South Florida. Skip Holtz comes in. That's going to be the only time Bill Holtz does not pick Notre Dame all year. He's going to pick them to win the national championship by losing the first game and then winning the rest of them.
Yeah, that's right.
Stephen Morris produces another nice throw to the sideline.
LaRon Bird.
Get his foot down inside. Yes, he did.
Yep.
Go down first.
So first down. Here's Morris. He'll tuck it and run it. Nice. Oh, did he pay the price? Harrison Smith.
Three interceptions, but the one he'll remember is that one. And I tell you, I got to give it to the quarterback, Stephen Morris, right there. That's the way you got to play football. You run, you get hit, and you get up, and you talk to him.
And he started chirping.
Absolutely.
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Say, it doesn't bother me. Hit me again. That was a first down.
Here's Morris.
Beautiful.
Right through the hands. I don't think it was tipped. I'm not sure. But it was, well, Slaughter was in the neighborhood.
Jamorris Slaughter was right there. Did he touch it?
LaRon Bird, the intended receiver.
Let's see if number 26 gets his hand on it. I think he did.
Yes, on the replay, yep.
Oh, yeah, just enough.
Yep.
You get 3 more tries here. There's going to be no field goal try, at least, if needed.
Morris in the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Leonard Hankerson, number 85.
When you have double coverage sometimes with a linebacker involved in it, it's good to attack that linebacker even if it is double coverage. Here's the two defenders. Akers is right here. Here's the other defender coming in. I believe it's that guy. It might be the drop end right here. It is the drop end. And when he turns, even though it's double coverage, those linebackers can't handle that.
Matt Bosher tried the point after.
Bosher's extra point is up and good.
Stephen Morris is making a name for himself, I'm telling you. He brought the team back a couple times. He had a good fourth quarter in games that they didn't win against Virginia. And in this football game, he showed a little spark. Did not practice all week, but showed the Miami way if you finish the game.
.36 to go in this one, and when we put it to bed, we'll go back to New York for the Jeep postgame show. Tim Spencer and Tony Barnhart back in our New York studios to bring you up to date on all the bowl action, anything else that's relevant in college football for this afternoon. 10-30, or more conventionally 30.
Yeah, that's how they usually do it. But you know, I was looking at during the break, Stephen Morris's game that he did the fourth quarter comeback. That was against Virginia. He started out with 2 interceptions early, but he finished the game in the fourth quarter with 3 touchdowns. Miami had a chance to stop Virginia and get the ball back. They didn't do it, but he showed his team and as a young player that he's going to be a force.
Hurricanes will kick off.
Don't burn a red shirt lightly. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Halfway through the season, he earned it. Goes from scout team quarterback to starter.
That's a touchback. It'll come out to the 20. Well, Gary and Tracy and I and our entire crew have seen a lot of Auburn this year. The undefeated SEC champions, and coming up against the Oregon Ducks. Now, we got a couple of booths down here who will argue
I know. We got Fauci
for the Oregon
on this
Ducks.
one,
Dan
right?
Fouts is here today, and so he's a big Duck fan. And what do you think?
Well, no one knows for sure. Anybody in one game in college football can win a football game, but I think there's a lot of pressure on Auburn. A lot of pressure. The SEC's won 4 in a row. I think Oregon is going to be loose in this football game, and in the last 3 or 4 wins, I'm not exactly sure what Auburn did, it was with Cam Newton's arm that won the game. Okay, so I think Cam's going to have to show up and throw the ball well again to win the game.
Well, we are well documented with CBS colleagues here. The fellow standing is doing play-by-play. His hair has gotten a little grayer since he started working with Iron Eagle.
John Robinson right over there.
How about that for a Hall of Fame booth? They're doing Westwood One Radio, and Dan will leave here and head to Cleveland. He's had back-to-back NFL games in Cleveland. Had a travel adventure getting in last night. I learned a lot earlier. Fauci and I did this game together in 1992. That was when they still took the teams across the border, and they put him in a bull ring. He was not amused. The bull was.
That was a good stop by that Miami defense. Football game not over. Telling you, you got to make a couple first downs now if you're Notre Dame.
Down by 20.
The defensive line makes a pile. Nobody blocks anybody now. You got the Notre Dame guys, I think, looking at the clock.
I'm looking down there, though. I don't see Michael Vick on the sideline.
No, I know,
yep.
but you got to go with what you go with.
Of course. And we're not trying to drive viewers away.
Well, might not drive all that many away. Might not be that many to drive away.
3rd down. Reese.
Oh, wonderful job.
Yes, it was. John Goodman flying down the sidelines, knocked out of bounds. Good pursuit defensively. Colin McCarthy.
You can win a lot of games, and you win the trust of your football team by hanging in the pocket as long as this guy did. Watch how long he waits and throws. You can't teach that. You cannot teach that. The ability to stand in there, not flush, and sometimes, Vern, when you're not given everything, he doesn't have the ability to run out of the pocket. You use what you got. And he has that heart and a gym rat, and he has that quarterback sense of knowing how long to hold on to the ball. That was a wonderful play by the quarterback.
31-yard gain in all. And a first down. Here's Reese. Hands it off again. Robert Hughes. My goodness, that's the 24th carry in the ball game for Robert Hughes. Well, how about a freshman quarterback comparison for the Fighting Irish? They've had some good ones, have they not?
Boy, I'd like to have my name up there with those guys.
My goodness.
You know, it's funny looking at Brady Quinn here. When I went out to practice, the first thing I said to the Notre Dame people is, you know, I haven't done a Notre Dame game in a while. The last one I've done is, you know, when you guys played Ohio State, you don't happen to have any one of your sisters dating anybody on the other side of. Remember, you don't recall that game, do you?
I watched that game from my home.
The A.J. Hawk, Brady Quinn game.
Yeah, I thought you guys well documented the relationship between the two of them.
They looked at me like I was from outer space.
Yeah, I saw pictures of her and him.
Well, here we go again, that defensive line. I got to give the Miami Hurricanes credit. They are finishing the game. That defensive line, I think it's forced in again, isn't it? God,
yeah.
He is playing some
Yes,
football.
he is. Yes, he is.
And you know, we called him out a little bit. Evidently at the locker room or somebody on the bench has said, come on, if we lose, we lose. But we're going to finish. We're going out on our shields. We are going to fight to the end. And I admire that.
That young yell-letter looks like she's ready to get back to Coral Gables. They told me this was the Sun Bowl. It's 37 degrees. 6:53 to go. Here's Reese.
Oh,
what an effort. Yes. Brandon Harris, number 1, who got victimized on a couple of pass receptions in the first half.
It was a well-thrown ball to the outside. Watch Brandon Harris fall down to the outside, and the ball inside. If it would have been thrown out just a little bit to the outside more, he hangs with it, and just gets his right hand on it. Bravo.
And that will force a punt. Ben Turk, number 35, on. Travis Benjamin awaits it.
I don't blame him. I really don't.
Really?
Good try. Why not? They might get a 97-yard return. I mean, I wouldn't do it in his first quarter.
Benjamin takes the football at the third quarter, at the 3-yard line, rather. And nothing on the return. 6:36 to go. Hurricanes have the ball back, trailing by 20. Tonight on CBS, the drama begins with NCIS, followed by CSI New York and Blue Bloods. That's tonight, only on CBS. 30-10, 6:36 to go. First meeting ever in the Sun Bowl.
Can you guess which one of those 3 shows I watch?
Well, you watch 2 of the 3.
No,
only one?
Yeah,
no, it's got to be NCIS.
Yes, Mark Harmon.
Yeah,
because if I didn't do this, that's what I would want to be doing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You want
Mark Harmon's job? Why not?
That's a good point. There's that football connection. His dad was one of the great ones.
And Mark at UCLA,
yeah,
obviously, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And for those of you of a certain age who don't know what the heck we're talking about, Tom Harmon was a great, great football player at Michigan. His son, a major star.
Yep. And then Mark was a great football player at UCLA.
6:29 to go.
Notre Dame defense has improved. That's the question everybody has. Is, you know, everybody has watched, even when Charlie Weiss was here, they move it on offense. Could they stop people? They're starting to stop people.
Well, this is a Southeastern Conference officiating crew, and this is Mickey Haddock, line judge. Been around for a long time, and he's decided that this is his final game on the field in the striped uniform. So thanks to Mickey Haddock for all the service in the SEC over the years. And by the way, Travis Odom, who's upstairs in the replay booth, working with Steve Landis. Travis Odom, the replay communicator, also has decided that this is it for him. So congratulations to both of you guys for all the service you've given us over the years.
First and 10 for the Hurricanes.
Here's the pass, left side, Michael James, number 5.
Pass complete to number 5.
Well, next Saturday, number 1, UConn working on a new streak now that theirs has ended at 90. Will take on Notre Dame. And at 4 o'clock, Ohio State against Iowa. Top 20 teams, that's next Saturday on CBS Sports. Morris got it.
Nice, he's going to be a good one.
Man's wide open. That's Chase Ford, number 9, third string tight end, and that's a gain of 19.
Stephen Morris is going to have a nice career. He gets it. He really does. Got a nice strong arm. He's not intimidated by it. I tell you, playing quarterback in Miami, you have to be tough. I mean, you can have a great career there, but you got to be tough-minded. Think about those quarterbacks that have played there. Steve Walsh, Kelly, Kozar, they were all tough-minded guys. Vinny Testaverde, Gino Toretta, all tough-minded guys.
Mark Richt.
Mark Richt.
Mark is going to love that we included him in that list.
Yes, Ja'Cory Harris was the starter.
Right.
Not out of it.
Morris now 14 of 24. Finds his 3rd consecutive receiver. This is Lamar Miller, number 6.
It's one thing if you're a young freshman, true freshman quarterback like Steven is, didn't get a lot of reps all year. He did not practice all year. He was scout team quarterback and then not to practice all week.
Right.
And he's out here doing this.
You see Ja'Cory Harris, who started, had 3 interceptions. Morris, 2 receivers. He's got a man open.
Yes, he does.
Caught, touchdown.
Boy, that's a nice throw there.
Tommy Streeter, number 86, a 42-yard gain.
He ripped that throw, too. That was no lollipop. He might just take over this football team because the first thing he did is look at the Notre Dame bench and said, here we are. I'll see you on Soldiers Field 2012. I'll be there.
You're right. Look at him. Stephen Morris, Mark Whipple telling us that not highly recruited. They got their eye on him, and he said he wouldn't offer him.
Yes, he didn't want to tip it off, right?
Yeah, he didn't want the rest of the schools in the country to know what he thought he'd found. So he didn't offer Morris a scholarship until late in the process.
It's just 4 vertical again. You got the players going right down the thing, and then one to the outside. Only 2 safeties. When you have a strong arm, you just throw it out. You hold one safety with one of the guys, throw the ball to the outside, and a perfectly thrown ball. Vern quarterback, and I know I brag on it because it's hard to play. I was looking at Fauci over there. That's how I'd like to have played. Only position in sports where you have to lead and play and conduct all at the same time.
Stephen Morris, number 17, 4 starts after Ja'Cory Harris suffered a concussion. Was iffy to start this game. They didn't know which one, Harris or Morris. And then the decision made for them on Tuesday when Morris sprained an ankle, but made it back, and he has made his presence known here in this football game. 16 of 26 now for 227 and 2 touchdowns. 4:01 to go, 30-17.
I'll tell you that, that first down when Reese hung in the pocket and made that first down throw. I mean, think about it here. That was another 3 minutes that it took off the clock. If it was, 30-17 and there was, 4 more minutes to go, that's just down 2 touchdowns with 6 minutes to go. We've seen that before.
Anticipating the onside kick, everybody 10 up for Notre Dame.
Yeah, the Tom Coughlin rule, we call this now.
Squib kick. Sierra Wood takes it and goes to the ground at the 35-yard line.
See if Miami uses their timeouts now, okay? Because you've got to score 2 times to win the football game. If I was Miami, I would call timeout after every play and then see if I could get a drive and an onside kick. You could possibly steal a football game here.
First down 10, Notre Dame at the 35-yard line.
pretty sure Notre Dame will be running the ball, get a stop, and take a timeout after every play.
Michael Floyd has not been on the field the last 4 series now. Robert Hughes with his
Good job by Stoutland. Timeout. He's on top of it. Michael Floyd. Let's go back to Michael. I think this play right here really shocked Miami. 3rd and long. They got down on themselves, and then a little later they get the first touchdown, and then a cheapie, an underthrown ball that Floyd reacts to, and Harris does it, and all of a sudden you get Miami on their heels.
And Michael Floyd with 6 catches for 109 yards is our player of the game, the junior, 6 for 109.
Now he's our Notre Dame player of the game, or are there 2, or how are we doing this? I'm a little confused. Is he the player of the game?
He's the player of the game.
Because Miami, if they come back, I can nominate another guy.
3:52. I understand.
A great strategy by Miami. You don't have to wait till the last 2 minutes to do this. You get a stop right here, you get the ball back. Never know.
Reese Wood. Ryan Hill.
Timeout again. Boy, the old line coach is right on it.
Yep. Well, let's once again go down and join Tracy Wolfson.
Well, guys, earlier, right at the beginning of the second half, I saw Michael Floyd come off, and they looked at his ankle, and they didn't do much to it, and he went back in for a few series after that, and we haven't seen him, I guess, since. And Notre Dame gives no injury information. I can't even find him on the sidelines. He's probably bundled up somewhere over here. But again, I can't get anywhere close to the bench to find him. So it's just safe to say that he is probably just staying on the sideline for the rest of this game, guys.
Okay, Trace, thank you. 3:46. Interesting how school upon school the philosophy differs in giving out injury information, and Notre Dame obviously opting to keep it close to the vest, if indeed there's an injury. Tommy Reese, 3rd and 11.
Very interesting call here. Will he let Tommy throw it, or will he force Miami to burn another timeout?
He will throw. Got him in.
Man.
T.J. Jones open, and a huge first down for Notre Dame.
What a gamer. I tell you, he felt the pocket. He stayed in the pocket the whole game. This is the first time he's really got out of the pocket to make a play, unless it was a design bootleg early. This time he feels the pressure and then throws over the top of a defender. That takes guts, I'll tell you. Or onions, or whatever you want to call it. Somewhere in that anatomy area right there.
You've just caused Bill Raftery to smile.
I was out there watching practice. And I'm watching Tommy, and I'm going, yeah, he's okay. And they put all 22 guys out there. And the first thing I said to Brian Kelly at practice was, he's way better with 22 guys on the field than he is with 11 guys or 7 guys on the field.
This is Sierra Wood, number 20. A quick burst over the left tackle spot, and he's moved the ball down to the 21-yard line on a 27-yard gain.
Well, Notre Dame's going to withstand this little run by Miami. The offensive line doing a good job of blocking again up front. Woods has another big run, but I got to go back to Stoutland at halftime, what he told Tracy. Come talk to me after the second half. These kids have been through a lot. I trust them. They're hard, good-working kids. We're not going to lay it on the ground here. We're going to finish this football game, and he was right. The Miami players have finished the football game. Give them a lot of credit for that.
2:35, 2:36 to go. Clock running. Here's Theo Riddick in the Wildcat position.
Yeah, I think this is the last play, Vern, that I remember. Our truck has got it queued up here. I think this fade pass to the outside was the last play that I can remember Michael Floyd. Nobody touched him on the play. Bounced a couple times. And we see nothing.
Miami used their final timeout. There's Michael Floyd. We found him on the sidelines. Done for the day. And so now the decision process begins in earnest as a junior.
Those are two guys that are going to get Rudolph next to him.
Yeah.
Brian Kelly's going to see how good of a recruiter he is, because those guys will both be, I predict, if they came out, first-round draft picks. Kyle Rudolph would be the first tight end taken. He was never even healthy this year, Vern, the whole year. When he caught that 95-yard touchdown pass against Michigan, he really wasn't full speed. I saw him at the banquet and said, I'm still mad at you for beating my Purdue team the year before. Big smile to follow.
Hey, was he empathetic at all? No, I didn't figure. Second down, 8. And the Wildcat again with Theo Riddick, the sophomore, 5'11", 200-pounder, to take the direct snap. He'll keep it as well. Gets a block from Hughes. Well, Dane Crest was the starter. Second year in a row, he injured a knee. And Tommy Reese has taken over. This is going to be the 4th win in succession. They've got some younger guys coming in. Is there any, well, of course there'll be competition.
Well, we asked Tommy. I go, Tommy, they're going to just keep recruiting 5-star guys. Oh, yeah, I know. You weren't a 5-star guy. I know. I came here. I knew what I was in for. I think it could be tough to beat out. I'm telling you, he's going to be tough to beat out.
1:50 to go. Robert Hughes. That's his 27th carry in this ballgame.
Yeah, I don't even think Notre Dame even tries a field goal. They'll just run the clock down. They may take a timeout right with that 1 second, but I just think they're going to run another play.
One of the Irish players is late getting up. It's Hughes, who's limping over to his right. And so 4th down and 6.
I mean, both their tailbacks, one is 81, the other is 80 yards. That's 160 yards out of your tailback against Miami.
Another look and see if we can determine what happened to Robert Hughes. And there you have it. Got a gimpy knee, I'd say that. And they are going to go for one. 1:26 to go. It's Nick Tosh, number 40. They're going to give him a chance. Sophomore out of Plano, Texas, from 33 yards away. Nick Tosh. Got it.
Yeah, but now it's 33-17. So 16 and 17 is 33, right?
Mm-hmm.
2-possession game.
With 1:21 to go.
Right.
Yeah. Tosh kicks the field goal. And it's going to be in the hands of Stephen Morris when we come back to El Paso.